We are going live.
Yes, I think
we're live.
We are live. Yay!
Hello! A special hello to Steve Ross and Fugue Enterprises, who we know are already in the chat, waiting for us to go. Going, come on, guys. So, yes, we can read all this time, Fugue, and welcome to the stream. We are Pear of Geeks. I'm Becky,
and I'm Jason.
And today we are, if you can't tell by the mountain of prizes that we're underneath here,
all the stuff.
This is a Con Plus 2, a prize preview. This is all the stuff that you could win for absolutely free in a couple of weeks' time. In fact, it's not all the stuff.
No.
Because we don't have it here yet.
No.
But I'm just going to briefly point this camera down and get the idea. This table is full of stuff. There is stuff everywhere. All right, we're going to go through everything that we've received so far to be giving away in what will be the world's largest RPG prize giveaway.
I'm still so overwhelmed by how much stuff is in front of us. And we did this already with some of the prizes before, but I think
in the year.
There's like now. Twice as much or something ridiculous. But can we do something first before we start going through all the prizes?
Yes, we must talk about the most awesome people in the world. A quick thank you to those people who support our channel by giving us a little bit of money each month. And what we do with that money, just so you know, is we actually use it to post these prizes out. So we're going to cash in, like last year we used the entire ad revenue of our channel to pay for most of the postage. The rest came out of my pocket. This year we're going to use the Patreon money, and just so that the charity, doesn't end up having to, if it's too much for us to bear, we'll get the charity donations to cover a little bit. But we're hoping that we don't get to do that again, and that we cover it all. So thank you so much to these people who are helping make that possible. And they are...
Oh, I'm saying it, Brian.
Yes.
Russell Higgins, Jolly Mangina, Mark Threlfall, Ormba, Brandon Fishwick. Sorry, it's my accent, it's northern.
I know why. No, it's because you did the Ormba, who's Dutch.
Yes.
So you said Ormba instead of Amber. And so you did the A for Brandon in the same accent.
Brandon Fishwick, Dave Poirier, AJ, Fugue Enterprises, Nate Hanshin, Philip Bate, and Elizabeth Chai-Praditkul. Thank you so much for being the most awesome people in the world. Like we've even put a trademark that you are the most awesome people in the world. So thank you so much. And if you want to join in and contribute a bit yourself, then feel free to head to Pear of Geeks, Patreon, patreon.com/Pear of Geeks, and you can become a fruit bowl and be one of the most awesome people in the world.
Yes, and we will read your name out each week, and it helps us make this convention possible by covering the postage and that enables us to raise as much as we can for charity. So thank you for the help that you give us in making this happen. So, without further ado, I suggest we do this A to Z style.
Okay, we have Fuke with a chat entry.
Oh, speaking of Con Plus, the hardest part of me being there for the full chat is the start is 5 a.m. my time, and finally did a shout out for Con Plus. It's the video when you visit my channel. Awesome. We will
thank you for the shout out.
Take a little look at that probably tomorrow, so thank you very much. Well, last year we started the telethon at midnight for us.
Yeah.
And then finished at midnight the next day.
Yeah.
And it was hard. Definitely it was hard. This year we're doing midday UTC because it's a 3-day con, whereas last year it was 1 day of gaming, UTC midnight to UTC midnight.
Yeah.
Whereas hi James.
Hey James Braden.
Whereas this year, because it's a 3-day con, we thought, okay, let's stretch the telethon over 2 days by going for 24 hours from midday UTC, which is 1 o'clock for us.
And, like, we've got, for example, somebody's put up a game that is technically after the con for UTC because it's Monday evening American time. So really, with the Friday and the Sunday for gaming, it can be pretty flexible.
It's the Sunday evening American time, Monday morning after
What,
the
did I
con.
say something else?
Yeah.
Oh.
You added a day.
I said words. I've got a problem with words tonight for some reason.
Yeah, so there are, hopefully there will continue to be lots of gaming going on well after the con. And indeed, the game matchmaking tool that we've created, we're leaving it open all year. So if we do get enough critical mass going to build a little community there, that would be awesome. And if we do, then we'll build extra tools. Not really expecting it this year to achieve that kind of critical mass.
But you never know.
If we continue to develop the tools a bit for next year, you never know. It might happen next year. I'm touch wood. But if it happens this year, great. You know, I mean, do go on, use it to arrange games and stuff with your friends. Right, let's do the prize rundown then. A to Z.
Okay. Are we doing all the PDFs first, or are we just doing everything A to Z?
We're going to do sponsor names A to Z.
Okay.
Right.
I counted them last night, and we have around 60
sponsors.
Yeah, 60 sponsors.
We have a lot more than that in prizes.
Yes.
So the first company, we actually don't know what we're getting from them yet. They have mentioned they're going to give us PDFs. It's Absolute Tabletop. Tim's a very busy guy, and it can be quite difficult to get that nailed down. So for the first sponsor, we currently have no prizes listed. There'll be a few of those. These things often happen at a panic at the last minute. But then the one after that, we have physical prizes for.
And they're right there.
They are indeed. It's all rolled up. So we've got 3 things from them.
This is where I have to be careful of the noises they make.
Okay.
But basically, we have...
So this is the first thing is the purple all rolled up dice bag. It's more than a dice bag, really, isn't it? It's a gaming stationery bag.
It's a way of life. Seriously, like, I've got my own, and it's got a Cthulhu design on it, and I really don't use it that often because I don't have that many real-life games, and yet I still really wanted one because I wanted to swan into, a real-life convention and go, yep, here we go, I've got all my pens, and I've got my dice, and da-da-da-da-da. But basically, if you don't know what these are, they are kind of like an all-in-one thing for bringing your stuff, normally as a player, because a GM might need books, for example, to a real-life game or a convention. You've got a big pocket thing here where you can put all your dice in. You can put other stuff in here as well if you want. You've got like a space here. I tend to put post-it notes in this middle pocket because they're quite roomy. And then you've got various sized ones for pens. And then basically, as it implies, you just roll the whole thing up, tie it together, and this is it. In a nutshell, it can fit really easily into your bag or in your pocket even. It doesn't matter. And they've got these lovely sort of tie things on it, so you don't even have to tie it in a knot. So yeah, really lovely. And of course, the material quality as well is really good.
I know lots of gamers who are using these now.
Yeah, so many people use them.
Exploded everywhere about 3 years ago.
Like,
now, that's not the only prize we've got from all rolled up.
Nope. Well, should I start putting these down somewhere so we know we've done them, maybe?
Well, I think...
We didn't think about this.
Why don't we start using the shelf underneath, and then at some point we'll sort something else out. Right, now we've got 2 dice trays with different designs. We'll probably open these during the convention so you actually get to see the designs. So we'll just describe them for now, because at the moment they're sealed.
Yeah.
Alright, hello from California, Art.
Hello,
Anastasio. So hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream. So it's a lunar design dice tray and a sand flagstone dice tray. So you've got like the fantasy and sci-fi all covered.
So smaller one is the lunar design. It basically looks like sort of moon rock type thing, which is nice. And the sand flagstone, it's that kind of old school, slightly cartoony look,
like a dungeon,
which is nice. Looks really kind of OSR almost type thing. So that's the bigger one.
But we'll open those during the con so you can actually see them.
But if you don't know what these are, these have also exploded recently. You see them everywhere at conventions now.
Because they're fold up so flat.
On the table.
You can fold this up and chuck it inside your all rolled up dice bag. Yeah. To carry it to your games, and then once you get there, you just pop the little clippers
I've got
together.
one over there. You can use as an example.
We'll demonstrate.
You will
if
demonstrate.
I can reach, I have to climb basically all the way over here, lean over loads of prizes. It folds out into this thing.
So you've got these poppers, so it folds and stays folded. But this one I got is just mine. It's like a nice sort of nebula design thing. So this is what it looks like flat. If you want to fold it up for storage, you basically do that and pop the poppers together. So again, really easy to store. And then to actually assemble, all you do is, I'm literally... It's because there are people watching, I think. It's the pressure. But basically, you pop each of the corners together, and then obviously place it on a hard surface, and then you can roll your dice inside the trays.
Yeah, and it stops your dice flying all over the table and knocking minis over and everything else.
What I liked about it and why I got one, again, because I don't have many real-life games at the moment, so I don't use them for that. I use them when playing online, because I used to use a dice tower. And dice towers, because they're wooden, can be quite noisy. And especially for online, that's quite difficult. Because basically, I was self-conscious of this, so I always muted, but then it could still be heard on your microphone, because you're next door. So I thought, okay, I'll solve this problem, I'll just get one of these. And it's great. And you can actually keep your dice in here as well, if you keep it open if you want. You can't really fit dice in when it's folded, but then that's what the other one's for.
That's what the bag's for,
That's what this was for. So you've got everything.
So that's the prizes from All Rolled Up.
Yes.
Now the next one, these are going to be PDF prizes, so we'll be sending these out via emails. There's nothing to really show you.
Yeah.
So they are Angry Hamster Prize. Angry Hamster Publishing. And those are the prizes there. Do you want to talk about this? Because I think you know more about it. I think you've got Witch Fated Souls.
I've got one of them. I haven't got the other ones. So yeah, basically we have got Witch Fated Souls, which is their first sort of big publication, which is kind of like it's kind of like Charmed, but I would honestly say a bit more sophisticated. It's kind of you're modern. You've got these sort of magical powers. You are a witch, and there's these kind of cool mystical things to do with demons and stuff. Yeah, I suppose a bit like New Sabrina.
Okay.
In a way.
So it kind of goes between the dark and the sinister, and then the kind of the camp and ridiculous.
I don't know how camp and ridiculous personally it can go, because I've never had a chance to play it. But it can definitely go dark, because you can have, for example, deals made with demons that you kind of have to fulfill and stuff like that.
That's very Sabrina.
Yeah.
New Sabrina, anyway.
I think one of the types of witches you can get has like a pact with a demon or something like that, and so that's quite cool. But there are 2 supplements for that system available. And then there's going to be 2 Afterlife Wandering Souls, which I believe is a spin-off of Witch Fated Souls. And there are 2 core books of that. And then there's 2 Familiars of Terror, which is a slightly different system. And that is kind of more mystical, less dark, more mystical and epic. But yeah, they're really cool. Really unique.
Who's next?
Next we have Arklands.
Okay, so this is another PDF-based one.
Yes. Yep, so we're
You've been talking to them, aren't you? So do you know... Actually, didn't I interview them?
You did. So we haven't talked to them recently.
Oh! Yes, no, that was... Oh, I spoke to them last year.
But they were really, really enthusiastic about it. They were really interested.
Actually, because we were telling them, the main guy, I've forgotten his name now.
It's on the spreadsheet. I've got it somewhere. But anyway, so he's made a new system, well, like a new setting, basically, with a system called Arklands.
Isn't it a 5e based system?
Yeah, it is sort of 5e based. So he's gonna give us a core rulebook, and also there's some novels associated with it as well.
Okay, but they might not, as I understand it, they might not be ready for the convention.
Yeah.
So it will be a prize you would receive later via email.
Yeah, there's 2 things really, in that some of the prizes unfortunately are just not going to be ready, and we'll obviously point out which ones they are.
There's only a couple in that category.
Yeah, there's only a couple, but it's for various reasons. The other thing which we'll also explain is for the digital prizes. Some of them will be emails, some of them will be based on drive-through, and you kind of get that for free. Other times it's like a voucher code you put in the website. So we may need to tell you, okay, this is how you get this prize, and da-da-da-da.
So the next sponsor is Arkenforge, and I know very little about this because you spoke to them.
So Arkenforge, it's in an alpha stage at the moment, but basically Arc and Forge do kind of a DM and player sort of digital supplement, so you can kind of do an experience. You're waving.
Nathan just came on the stream.
Oh, right.
And I think I saw Scott Pokemon as well earlier.
Oh, right. Well,
we
we'll
missed
have
it.
to have a
We
look.
were talking.
So you can experience the game on your iPad, on your TV, whatever, so you can have the maps laid out. They're very, very dynamic, which I loved. I remember in particular the sort of the fire glow. If you wanted like a fireplace or something, you can just put it straight onto your map, and then if you move it around, it will move the glow and the shadow based on where you're putting it.
Cool.
So really cool physics. I don't know if they're out of alpha stage yet, because we did interview them back in May. Well, June, May.
Yeah, it was end of May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, it looked really cool, really exciting.
Okay, now the next one, I love these ones. And just to put, mine's half painted, so I can't show you. But this is a miniatures company that is sponsoring us.
Mm-hmm.
We have both independently bought miniatures from this company before.
Yes.
And they are amazing. The resin minis, so resin miniatures are really they're the top end, because they're highly detailed, and the sculptor for this particular company, a guy called Dan, he is amazing with some of the stuff he does. The company is called Atlantis Miniatures. So somewhere in this pile we have some Atlantis miniatures.
I was just trying to look for them.
I think they'll be boxed because they're... Oh, no. They're here, aren't they? Yes! Okay, so this is going to be...
Oh, that's
tricky
right.
to show you, actually.
They kind of put them in bags.
Yeah. Okay. So these are some of the most highly detailed miniatures
We've got
seen.
the list anyway that we can read out.
Well, let's find an example for each one. So the first is 3 Great Ball Riders.
Those are the ones I've got.
Okay.
I won't... Oh, actually, no, this one's intact, so that's fine, I'll get it out.
So that's the boar, or one of them. So there's 3 of these in the prize. You might need to put your hand behind it.
Yes, I know, but my hand is full. I'm just trying to...
No, it's not a 3D print. This is a resin mold, so it's a pressure chamber type injection molding with resin. They are phenomenal.
Can I just interject and say Art loves minis? We have a lot of miniatures to give away, so
you're gonna
you are
love
in luck.
Compass too. Oh, you're going to love it.
Also, hi Nathan! I didn't wave at you because I was busy talking.
Now, you showed the ball there, but they have actually got Orc Riders on
Yes,
those.
yes. The reason why I was looking to get them out is because there are a few bits, and I don't want to drop anything.
Yeah, so... this one is a troll shaman. So
oh yes, I remember this one.
what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna get all the bit. I'm just gonna get enough to sort of hold roughly. No, I'll tell you what. I'll do it without his arms because I can't physically cope. Could you chuck that in there? Thank you.
Yeah, there is some gluing to do. Just bear in mind.
Well, I think that makes it easier to paint these.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So
it's just that
there is most of the. I'll do the bit side by side. Sorry. Where's the camera? Get in focus. When we show these during the con, I think we'll get the roaming cam out.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
There you go. The detail on these is absolutely phenomenal.
But what I was implying was, don't be worried if you kind of get it out and it's in like several pieces.
Yeah.
That's normal. It hasn't broken.
Oh, there's one of the riders. You didn't show the riders. I'll leave it in the bag.
Okay.
But there is. You can barely see. I'm sorry.
You keep talking about riders. I've now got Twilight Imperium on my mind. Do these go back in here?
They go, yes, with the troll shaman. These are part of the bag you had.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got this, I think it's Orc Chieftain, is it? Orc King, they call this one.
Mm-hmm. Not chieftain, but king.
Yes, and he's very definitely a king, actually, I have to say. Again, I'm going to leave one of the bits in the bag, just for convenience. So, it's his arm in this case. Now, he is a rider. I'll show you the mount in a moment. So, hang on. So, his arm's in the bag, but you can sort of see, hopefully, if it'll focus well, the phenomenal levels of detail that are in this. And the way they did it right is kind of like a flat bottom, so it makes it much easier to adhere this. And I'll show you the mount. It's this sort of giant kind of walrus type thing. It is absolutely amazing. I just love the character that you get in Atlantis miniatures. The way Darren sculpts them is absolutely phenomenal. And the things he sculpts, I mean, who would think to do an orc king on a giant walrus troll? It's sort of I think it's a troll, but with walrus tusks.
Yeah, I gathered that it was basically, it's got like a walrus mask thing on.
No, those are tusks for. It's like a troll, you see, and it's kind of like walrus tusk. Troll.
But it is a troll, yeah.
Tusked troll. There we go.
Yeah, it's it's got like kind of cloven hooves and stuff.
Okay, so the next one, it's the author, Benjamin Deskovich.
Yep, Benjamin Deskovich is returning to Accomplice 2.
Yeah, he's sponsored us before, and he's giving away a total of 10 PDFs, 5 copies each, of Dragon Choir and Dead Letter.
Which are 2 fantasy novels. We've got a few authors this time as well. Some of them are just novels, others are game books, so we'll talk more about those later.
Okay, now the next one, this is a big one. It's not a PDF, but it is a digital prize, and it's a brand you will all know. It's Campaign Cartographer. So we are. I just sort of just want to half an eye on the chat here. Yeah. Okay.
Artist oodling over images. Hello, Scott Poe. This feels like Yule. Yes, it is Yule come early. Move over Black Friday. This is much safer.
So Campaign Cartographer are giving us a top 3 bundle. That's Campaign Cartographer 3+, Dungeon Designer 3, and City Designer 3. So that is like all 3 of their big products, right?
Yeah.
And then they're going to give away 3 copies of Campaign Cartographer 3+. So that's a biggie.
Yep. So you can, with the big bundle at least, you can do all your world maps, you can do all your dungeons and all your cities.
Yeah, that's a huge prize. So
in a really intricate map system.
Thank you, Ralph, for arranging that for us. Now another big name.
Yes.
Is Chaosium.
Chaosium.
And so huge thanks to Mike for this one. They're giving us. They decided this year because they hadn't got a kind of a new big product.
No, that's true.
So much out.
No.
So what they thought they'd do is give vouchers out.
Yeah.
So that you can choose anything to complete your collections.
Although, can I just say, they are getting something hopefully out in the next 6 months or so. So watch this space.
Yeah, I know what that is.
But
are we allowed to mention that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we are, but I won't just yet.
Okay. So they're giving us away 5 $25 vouchers, so you can just pop onto the store and buy whatever you like.
Yeah. I think as well with that, I don't know if it can be $25 or £25.
No, you're thinking of the
other
prizes
thing.
that
Okay.
you're kicking as expensive.
Don't worry.
$25 for the role-playing competition.
Yes.
Cognitive Merchant.
Cognitive Merchant. Now these prizes are still on the way. We did only confirm them literally a few days ago. But Cognitive Merchant were a really interesting find. There were a couple of these really amazing stores with all these amazing handmade accessories. And Cognitive Merchant was one of them. And do you want to say what they're giving away?
Yeah, so what they're entirely handmade. Everything that these guys do, they're kind of handcrafted, beautiful accessories that are themed around your game. So they're going to give away a dice bag, a handmade dice bag. I think there's a leather, aren't they?
Yeah, I know they do a lot of their stuff in leather.
I'm trying to remember which ones are which, but and they're also going to give away a handmade dice cup. So you do the old traditional rolling style thing, but again, this will be we don't know exactly what it'll look like yet, but based on what I've seen,
I was going to say
it'll be like a fantasy themed.
Yeah, the fantasy themed. The dice cup is quite big. It's not like some little flimsy thing. I would say it's about a bit bigger than that.
Okay.
Maybe not quite as tall.
And they also mentioned a handmade wristband. Now, I haven't seen them at all, so I don't know what they look like.
No,
I don't
I
quite
mean,
know what to expect on that one.
They've said they're going to put in some wristbands, but I don't know what they look like yet,
Okay.
so we don't know about
All
those.
right. And now we have, moving from them straight to, we're going alphabetically.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens that two firms that do quite similar type things are right next to each other in the alphabet.
Yeah.
So now with Creative Quest, who do similar kinds of thing. It's all very... Oh, you're waiting to speak. I
was going to say, again, these are still on the way. We literally confirmed these prizes last night. But again, they sound amazing, and I'm getting more and more jealous the more prizes we're getting out. We can't have these. They're all for you.
I know, and there's quite a few of these prizes I would love to have.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a couple of dice bags we'll be giving away for them.
Yeah.
I really wish we could show you these because I mean, for both Creative Quest and Cognitive Merchant, they're really lovely stuff.
And really lovely people.
Now, there's one prize that is 2 times flight stands.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
The flight stands are the kind of the nice stands to hold open your Dungeon Master's Guide, your Player's Handbook.
Oh!
Those ones, yeah. So there's 2 of them in the same prize. So you've got one for your Player's Handbook, one for your Dungeon Master Guide, or you can have your Monster Manual, whichever you want.
Wow.
So...
I never even thought about having that one. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Creative Quest, I almost said Creative Merchant then. Creative Quest specifically do D&D stuff where they've thought, oh, wouldn't it be really useful if that was there instead? So that was one of the things they thought of, oh yeah, if we could have something that could keep the books open so the DM could look at them, that'd be really cool. So there's that. And then the thing that we were all like going, oh, that looks so awesome at the convention was... the healing potions. So they're giving away 2 healing potions, which they say that they use in the interview that it's a good way of sort of saying, right, here's your healing potion, and then you use it, and then you give it back. So
it's like a physical prop of a healing potion, and you give it back when you use it, rather than writing it on your character sheet and then has it been used?
Rubbing out,
yeah.
They're really beautiful, but again, they're not here, so we can't show them off yet. Yet.
Can show the next prize though, and this is another major sponsor, major company.
Yes,
and actually, that's a pretty
is.
big prize. I think it might be
that one.
Is it that one?
I believe
yes, that one, and I think it might be.
Yep, it's those.
Yeah, here we go. Oh gosh, this is ever too much for one hand. Right,
so.
This is from Cubicle 7. I think they can see the top one, so we'll show them this now.
Adventures in Middle-earth, which I know many of you will have heard of. The 5th ed conversion for Lord of the Rings. We've got the core rulebook.
Yeah.
The Player's Guide. I beg your pardon, Player's Guide.
Oh, wow, this is pretty.
It is very pretty. Again, very jealous. And we've also got the Lore Master's Guide.
I've been getting right into Middle-earth lately. So yeah, the Lore Master's Guide as well. Well, it's a bit... yes, well, it's because I've been painting the board game, War of the Ring, to the extent that I'm currently 3D modelling Middle-earth so I can 3D print it.
There's that lovely new smell.
So I'm a bit jealous. Just a tad.
Hello, McCravitz!
Hello! And hello, End Offline. Hello!
So it doesn't actually protect you from Con Crud Bummer. No. No, it doesn't.
And then, of course, we have the brand new edition of this one, which I know you'll talk about for ages and ages.
Yeah. And hopefully I will have read this by the time the con comes around. I don't know. I'm very slow with reading in my spare time, but I love this system very, very much and was very excited that it was... revamped to 4th edition, but going back to its roots, and I had a really fun time interviewing Don, which will be, of course, broadcast during the telethon. But we have this amazing 4th edition hardback book.
It's another really pretty book. I have to say, like the quality of art in RPG books has really come on a long way since 5th ed kind of moved the goalpost, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, let's see if we can find some
lots of prizes on my lap.
underneath. Okay, so who's next in the alphabetical listings? We've done Cubicle 7. That means it's David Cartwright.
Ah,
so
yes.
Another author. They're right on top over your side.
Yes, I know.
There we go.
Okay. David Cartwright, we've talked about him a few times, but...
That's because he was one of the first to actually get his prizes in.
That's true, actually. But yeah, David Cartwright has done a kind of sci-fi mashup with King Arthur in several novels called the Camelot 2050 trilogy. So we've got all 3 books in the trilogy, Black Knight, Dark Magic, and Dragonfire. It is the year 2050, and Rosalind Savant, squire to one of the legendary knights of the Round Table of Camelot, prepares to do her duty at the King's Tournament. It is a chance for her to prove herself to her superiors and her critics alike. And yeah, they look really, really cool. And also, there's like Big Ben in the background.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's.
And she's got a massive machine gun thing.
Yeah, it's fantasy sci-fi history.
Yeah, but in the future.
That's awesome, and it's one of my favourite bits of folklore, that, actually.
Yeah. Again, all these can be yours.
Let's get them down below.
Yes, good idea.
Right. So next up, are we giving that away as one big prize? Because like there's book 2 and book 3, they're very continuation of...
Well, yes, that's very true. I imagine so.
Okay. Next up is Destiny
Quest, which I believe is in this box.
Ah.
Yes. Right, so Destiny Quest, if you've not heard of Destiny Quest, then you need to listen very carefully. So, if you are aware of Fighting Fantasy and game books and Choose Your Own Adventure, Destiny Quest is basically the kind of new school version, if you will. So, as you can see, much thicker than your average Fighting Fantasy book. Many more options. There's some stuff in here I'm going to take out just to make it easier. Many more options, much more open world, things like that. And this book is the 4th in a series of Destiny Quest books, although you don't have to have read the other 3 to know what's going on in this. So it can be done as a standalone book, or it can be done as part of the other 3.
I believe it's signed.
It is. It is indeed signed. I was getting to that. So, they're all signed. There we go, just about. It's got a lovely colour map in the front and the back, which are actually used as part of the mechanics in terms of where you turn to kind of go back to a certain hub area, if you want to call it that. And also, as part of it, he's thrown in, as in the author, Michael Ward, has thrown in a few sort of little cards which give you extra... like boosts to your stats, as well as a nice sort of postcard of the Kickstarter art.
Awesome.
And I believe we have 3 of those to give away.
Okay. Now the next one is actually one of our star prizes, and it's a physical prize that hasn't yet arrived.
Ah, yes.
And I'm panicking. So hopefully we will be giving away from DMB Games 3 full dungeon sets. So we're giving away miniatures, but we're going to give away dungeon sets. Now, when we spoke earlier in the year, he did say there will be dungeon starter sets plus decor, but we don't know yet what we're going to receive. And I know that Andy is kind of a bit behind at the moment with stuff because he's been a bit ill.
Yes, he has.
He's had a rough year, actually. But hopefully they will arrive on time and we'll be able to show you and they'll be amazing and everything else. However, we aren't going to be giving them away. We are, but with stuff. So, we'll talk more about these later. We'll be giving away, so it will be a dungeon starter set with decor. Hopefully. Touch wood, right? Not received them yet, but that's what we're expecting. But we thought, wouldn't it be nice if you had the option to kind of decorate it a bit? So I've had a word with a good friend of mine, Thomas, who runs Thomarillion. It's my favourite miniature store, or miniature scenery decor type store. He does loads of dungeon accessories in his store, and they're all unique to Thomarillion store sells made by Thaumarillion stuff and Ziterdi stuff because they're closely connected. So this is a lot of the stuff from Thaumarillion is very unique and uniquely Thaumarillion, and it's amazing. I love their stuff. I have lots of it. So you can really decorate out this dungeon. But then we thought, well, once you've got a dungeon, you need to put things in the dungeon to kill. So Kip from Reaper Miniatures is going to be throwing in some stuff as well, and we will talk about those things when we get through the alphabet to those companies.
Yeah.
So bear in mind, these 3 dungeon sets will be 3 of our star prizes, and
All in one.
they're more than just the dungeon sets. This is like anyone who's ever dreamed of getting into doing miniatures gaming, but thought, oh, it's so expensive. This is
Not this. Not for you.
not for you, not for the 3 winners, and one winner in particular will get the absolute star prize one, which we'll talk a bit about that when we get to it.
We do have a bit more chat,
Oh,
by the way, that we haven't really been looking at.
right.
So end offline. It is Sam. I know who that is. Somebody from my work. Hello to you. Looking forward to the con, and yes, he is coming to the con, which is fantastic. Scott put, the book mobile, choose your own adventure nostalgia. Actually, funny you should say that, because I read my first choose your own adventure from a mobile book library place. But yeah, we have a good few game books this year, which I'm very excited about. And Destiny Quest is one of them. We'll get onto the other ones a bit later. I think there were a few more bits of chat that are kind of disappeared, but yeah.
Moving on this week.
We are, okay.
Normally we savour every comment, but we're gonna this. Please do keep the chat going, but we'll come to it at the end. We'll scroll back.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So, Evil Hat Productions.
Evil Hat. The well, they've done Fate, as well as a few other things, but mainly that is what they are.
Now, Fate isn't the most expensive game.
No, not at all. It's very affordable, and that's one of the great things about the system.
The new edition has broken with tradition and is actually a bit more money. It is no longer $10 for Fate, but it was $10 for decades. It's $25, if I remember correctly.
I am not 100% sure how much the new one is.
I think the new one is $25.
Okay.
So we have 3 $25 store vouchers.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even if you can't get Fate Core, you can get Fate Accelerated for even cheaper.
Yeah, so that's kind of my point, is that you can, if you've already got it, you get something else because it's a voucher-based prize. So
Fiuk does have a very good question.
Does one need to just be in the telethon chat to win? Pretty much, yes.
But there's a little bit more to it.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it genuinely is. You will win prizes if you just watch the telethon and take part in the chat. I guarantee you will win prizes. But what we wanted to change from last year was, because it was truly random last year, and we wanted to make sure the prizes were more fairly distributed. And we also want to raise a lot of money for charity. So once you've won a few prizes, your chance of winning will actually decrease, unless you make a donation, in which case it returns to normal.
But one important thing to mention is you also need to make sure you have an account on the website.
Yeah, but you don't actually need to make it beforehand.
Okay.
So
cool.
It's fine. Like, you can just make it if you win stuff and then sort out your prize claim that way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought you had to set it beforehand.
No, I'm trying to encourage
she's
people
so
to do it.
good. So seamless.
Basically, it does the whole thing where when you create your account, when you go to do the prize claim or anything to do with the prize system, you connect your YouTube account, which is of course what you'll be in the YouTube chat with, and then it knows that you're that person.
There you go. So you don't even need to create an account. You just need to make sure you're on YouTube.
You should, however, and you know what you should do is you should make an account and do a monthly donation, because that is the best way to ensure that you don't get your chances nerfed by having too much, winning too much.
Yes.
Just saying.
McRabbit says there's an online Fate SRD, but I always like to have a physical book on hand. Yeah. And the Fate books are quite small as well.
Okay, now, very important question from Nathan H.
Yep.
which is what charity are we helping? Because we are helping an amazing charity this year.
Yeah.
It's called the Butterfly Project, and what they do is they are a school, and they're a school in Uganda, and they take children from the most disadvantaged parts of even Uganda, which isn't the most isn't a country with a lot of opportunities to begin with. So they take children from the slums of Kampala and from the remote northern villages, and these are kids which really only know a kind of a background of violence and deprivation. But you see, children, what I believe and the charity believes, children are inherently good, but if you leave them in that environment, they'll just end up propagating, becoming adults who propagate the same cycle. So what this school is, it's a boarding school where they get these children, they get them into a safe environment, and they teach them that they can be better, they can be change makers, that things can be different. And you'll hear when you speak to some of the children during the con, and you'll get the chance to. We've got lots of video footage. You'll hear them talking a lot about change and how they really are driven to do that.
But the big thing at the heart of this, even again words. I don't know why today words, is a lot of their teachings and their learning is focused around gaming.
They use it's mostly because they give them a normal education, but
yes,
bear in mind
absolutely.
These kids are there. It's a boarding school, so in the evenings they're doing board games and they're doing role playing games, because the board games are great educational tools, and role playing games are help these kids to imagine a better future. Which when they start with the project, they maybe don't have that realization that things can be different, and that is quite common. And it's one of the things the school helps them with, and role-playing is a really key part of it. And that's why we really wanted to back this charity, is because not just because they're doing amazing work, but they're doing it with role-playing games. And they are actually, you can even watch during the convention, we're going to try and get this sorted. They're going to be live streaming a Pathfinder game, or at least they're going to try to.
Even says, we will try and broadcast this.
The internet is a little unstable in Kampala. But they're going to have a go at doing that, and they're going to sort sound out and equipment and stuff. But they're going to have a go at trying to do it. So you'll actually be able to see them gaming. And, this is real, guys. It's not the thing with Child's Play, because although it's a great charity, but we never really got to see what they do with the money. I mean, they raised millions and millions and millions, and they really didn't care about us. This is a small charity, and we're already making a huge difference for them. This is actually, the ticker's slightly out, because we should by now have received a donation which will have brought us to we'll have raised over $1,200 for them. I think it's a bit kind of in the process at the moment, which is huge for them, because they're struggling to keep the doors open next month. This is a small charity, and doing amazing things.
What I was going to say was, it's just amazing how much contact we have with them, because like with Child's Play and other big charities, it's maybe a bit detached in that, okay, yeah, we're raising money, and then we send it off, and then you don't really hear much else.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, we're talking to them, we're liaising with them. The fact that I was really excited when they said, oh yeah, we're gonna host a game for the con. I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing.
And one of the things that drove the decision we haven't really shown this yet, but we're gonna, when you win prizes this year, the way it's going to be done. Last year we used a dice tower and the 5-sided dice. What we're going to do this year is we've got a little 3D arena. Have your little avatar, YouTube avatar, and your name above your fighter. And you don't control it, you just have to take part in chat, and it will be entered, and it automatically fights in this arena, and the winner wins the prize. But because these kids do game, what we've done is we've added an arena champion
that represents them,
and so they can win some of the prizes too, because they don't get nerfed for winning stuff. They don't need to donate to keep their chances of winning high. So yeah, that's what we've done. So and I'm really, really proud to be supporting this charity, and I think it's amazing and we haven't got footage to show, but I have seen footage of the slums in Kampala, and I remember when I saw that, I was kind of in shell shock for about 2 days. Like, the world that these kids come from.
We do have footage of the remote villages.
Okay.
And to be honest, I'd not really seen much of this until I was going through these videos. And the remote villages, it's like there's just nothing. There's nothing for them to do. There's nothing really for them, like any kind of like decent standard of living. Like you see kids sitting on tyres because they haven't got any chairs, or there's no carpets. They haven't got any. Like one thing that really struck me, they you'll see it in the footage, but they do like a board game convention, and it suddenly dawned on me, they haven't got any water. Where's the water? Because naturally you see people in regular conventions, they've got like cans of Coke, they've got nothing. Whether it's really limited in supply or they just haven't got anything at all because they're in these remote villages. It's very stripped down in terms of what they have, and it did just suddenly dawn on me of, oh my god, these kids have barely got anything. And I think that's one reason why they're so keen to get involved in this project, because for one thing, it's something for them to do.
Yeah, and actually that board game convention, I think it's really cool because they do actually do a LARP during the board game
yes,
convention.
Yes, they do, yeah.
They make the weapons, they do like the sort of African-style tribal masks, but for orcs and goblins and things. It's really cool. Right, so where were we?
Yes, shall we resume?
Yes, so we don't even have feral gamers. Now, we sort of have this prize, but sort of it's not on this website yet, so I don't know.
No, so at the top of my head, there are a couple of feral gamers systems to win, and we haven't actually decided how many copies yet to give away, so I need to do that. But they have all been sent to my Drive-Thru-RPG account, so I have them on there, so they are ready.
So we'll be sending them direct to ourselves?
Yeah, we'll be sending them direct to whoever wins them. There's one that is kind of a nice sort of gothic, if you think of Underworld, a bit like that. There's another system that's very kind of Black Ops type thing. I think those are the two main systems, if I remember correctly. But I haven't got it on me at the moment. I've got my phone on me. That's
okay. So the next one listed, I know we've lost contact with this one, haven't we?
Yeah, that one I'm not sure about yet.
So Free League Publishing, but we've lost contact, so that might get removed. We don't know yet. If you know of or from Free League Publishing, please get back in touch, because we were talking and it's gone quiet. So, right then, that's a very big name.
Green Ronin, who've published a few things, I believe, this year. But they are back with some more goodies. I can't remember, are they? Yes, they're PDFs. So we've got a couple of copies of Mutants and Masterminds to give away. The Dragon Age RPG core book as well. And they have recently done a Kickstarter for a system called Expanse. You'll be pleased to know that there are 2 of these PDF core books from the Expanse system they're giving away.
Awesome.
I think it was back in July, something like that. August. Yeah, it was about June, July.
Okay, now for our equally longest serving sponsor, I think, because I think Abtec have been around just as long.
Oh my god, this one I am really excited about.
Okay.
When I got the email, I was like,
right, so Heroic Maps have backed us since the beginning.
Since the
very beginning of BrigadeCon. And they usually, like, they'll... in a way, I remember last year...
Their prizes have always gotten bigger and bigger.
Yeah, we wanted to sort out the prizes, and they're like, can we wait till nearer the con, because we're always producing new stuff, and we'll give you everything. And they give us, like, these huge prize bundles.
The prize bundles were huge last year, and basically Heroic Maps, they are always making these new maps. The difference is that they are basically PDFs, so you print them out, but there are just so many. They've got this massive catalogue now of all different genres as well, not just fantasy, but they've got horror, they've got science fiction, steampunk, whatever you want.
Yeah,
they have got the maps that you
collection.
want. But the thing is, this year there is a bit of a difference in that rather than they give us a load of bundles to give away, they are giving you the choice because they've got 3 prizes. The first prize is a store voucher for $50 from their catalogue.
Well, that's not the first prize.
Well, not in order,
It's kind
no,
of the
but...
third prize.
Okay, third prize. Second prize, both ways, is a $100 store voucher. And bear in mind, a lot of their maps are sort of around the $3-4 mark.
Yeah, so you're getting a lot of maps there.
First prize, which made my jaw drop to the floor, $200 worth of store voucher. So you can literally get an entire tree's worth of maps.
I mean, that's what, 80, 90 maps, something like that. I mean, just... you will never want for maps again.
Yeah.
You'll
It's
be
a
able to get
lifetime
everything.
supply of maps.
Now, the next one we need to find, and this is a weird
No,
one.
I've got it here.
I've bumped into Ian 3 times in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
I've spoken to Ian. And on the third occasion, I said, look, Ian, I've got to pin you down. I want you to give me something I can give away. I'm not letting you go till you do. And he goes, right. And he looks around. Look, I've got nothing on me. So what he did, he went over to our friends and his friends. Atlantis Miniatures we showed earlier. Now, Atlantis Miniatures do the miniatures for Fighting Fantasy.
Well, it's not a case that they do them, they have just released them.
Yeah.
So the way it works, they made almost like a premature batch for the Fighting Fantasy Fest. So they had a load to sell. Most of it went in the first hour, to be fair, and when we arrived, I didn't get like every single thing I wanted, but some of the stuff. And then they're going to do a Kickstarter of everything and some more stuff they're still making and all this. So basically, this is one of the brand new Fighting Fantasy miniatures signed by Ian Livingstone, as you can see. This is Lord Azur, which is the main big bad from Port Blacksand with the sort of the blue drapes and slightly Arabic look and the big scimitar and stuff. So he's one of the iconic Fighting Fantasy characters that kind of keeps popping up every so often. I believe he's
the bad guy in the new book.
He is, as well.
Yeah.
Because Port Blacksand's been around since City of Thieves and all that, but Assassins of Alanzia, the new book, it does focus on this dude as well as various other assassins.
So that's a pretty unique prize, and it's purely because I caught him whilst he was stood next to Atlantis Miniatures.
But yeah, so you could possibly get one of these signed by Ian Livingstone. If you're a collector, you know, if you want to keep it boxed, that's up to you, or you can get it out, you can paint it. Although actually, I've got one of these myself, and you can just open the packaging and it won't like tear or anything like that. So if you want to keep the signed plastic, then that's perfectly easy to do. Unfortunately, the mini has been put in backwards, so I can't show you the front of the mini. But just like the rest of the miniatures that we were showing from the main Atlantis Miniatures range, they are fantastic models. I love the detail in his sort of big cloak thing with the creases and stuff. Again, there are a few bits to glue, but it's a lovely little mini. And that's my spiel.
Oh, it's a lovely message from Nathan.
Okay. Is somebody going to read it?
Sure, if you want to, but I just read it and I'm happy.
Nathan says, I just want to say, as a member of both the LGBTQ and gaming communities, that I am very moved by what you are endeavouring to do with the Butterfly Project. Thank you very much for doing this. Woo!
Okay, so next up, Jesper Schmidt. Now, he's another long-standing
indeed.
Of the convention.
Yes.
Has he been around as long as the Ragnaps?
No.
Not quite.
He was in the first Complus, and he's come back for this year.
Wasn't he in the last Brigade Con, though?
Actually, now you think about it, I think he was.
I know he's... I'm pretty sure he
Yes, he was. Yeah, I just remembered.
The convention sort of longer than our involvement, as it were. Although you were kind of... Anyway. So... He is an author who does... He, if I remember rightly, he's an author of fiction, and he authors role-playing advice, is it? Or is it kind of world-building advice?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. So he's got a YouTube channel that does kind of world-building advice, especially to do with maps. And he is giving away 5 of his fantasy map-making PDFs. So it's got sort of pointers in, okay, can a river flow through this thing, which, you know, is a thing you've got to kind of learn, and various other stuff, how to draw them, things like that. But also he's giving away 10 of his novel Desolation, which is kind of a epic fantasy dragon thing.
Awesome.
Again, all digital, so you'll get those all emailed.
Fuchs asked an interesting question. What is Brigade Con?
Considering the evolution of this con, that is a very interesting question. So Brigade Con was basically how this convention started. It wasn't started by us. I did myself at one point manage the con in 2015 when it was Brigade Con, because basically the person who was going to do it just couldn't because of personal circumstances. And then eventually both of us agreed to take it over, and we renamed it Con Plus.
It's kind of like the spiritual predecessor, because I don't...
Yeah.
In many ways, Con Plus isn't... It's a little bit different to Brigade Con.
Definitely, it's definitely evolved.
Mostly because of, I think, times changed. Like, because the YouTube RPG community used to be quite a close-knit group. They had a group called The Brigade on Facebook.
Yeah.
And everyone used to kind of collaborate and talk a lot. But what basically happened, that Facebook group, they kind of opened the doors to everyone and every kind of post, and it became less about the video content when Facebook's algorithms changed, and so the Brigade kind of died. And,
you know, video responses went on YouTube, which was a big blow as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, originally it was a convention really for this massive Facebook group, but they were tightly knit, and I was a big part of it. But now what we've done is we've kept it going as this international online thing for charity, and it was originally set up for charity as well, to be fair. But it is different. We now do the telethon, we do a lot more prize giveaways, as well as the games.
Yeah,
so it has evolved.
Just be a few sort of digital products, didn't it? They didn't do physical prizes in Brigade Con era.
They did a few, but there weren't that many. There was kind of a mix, whereas, especially this year...
Yeah. Well, we had a huge prize table last year.
Yeah, but
this
physical,
year it's
in particular,
it's gone insane. I am dreading posting this, and I seriously hope nobody in New Zealand wins it. No offence.
Okay, next.
Right. Next up is Jonathan Green.
Ah, Mr. Green. No relation of me. But, let's see, that's not him, neither is that. None of that is him or this. That's mine, actually. That's not being
There's
given
one
away.
of his.
Ah, yes, okay.
Well, this one has a... The thing is...
In fact, this is his prize.
Yes, that is it, isn't it? Yes, those...
Yes.
Oh, no, there's cards. There's cards should be with it.
Yep.
No, playing cards.
Oh, yes, that's right. I can't
It's
see
part
them.
of the thing. Oh, look, there's that. I've got them.
Oh, yeah.
So it's one kind of big prize.
Yeah. So, and this.
Oh, 2 big prizes.
Actually, no, this is mine.
Oh, one big prize.
Okay, so Jonathan Green, he has done several fighting fantasy novels. Thank you. But he also does his own novels. He does his own game books. I've got some cool steampunk novels by him. So he is giving away. It's kind of like a game book of Peter Pan, but kind of a bit steampunky. He does like his steampunk. So this is the limited hardback edition of Neverland Here Be Monsters. You can play 4 characters, obviously Peter Pan, you can play Wendy, you can play Tiger Lily, and you can play Hook. They've all got their own different stats, although they're quite basic stats, so you can play this with your kids if you've got kids, or sort of younger players as well. And there's also a playing card set that comes with it.
Okay, and the bookmarks are... You've got a choice of 4, one for each character, and they've got like the stats and everything else you need
so your
on
stats
the back.
are on the bookmark.
And yeah, we're giving you all 4 possible characters as
Yeah.
free, because like I think normally you're just supposed to write all that down on paper or something, aren't you?
I guess so. Yeah, I think these are like limited sort of copies.
And you get all 4.
And they're really cool illustrations and stuff as well. And you've got this amazing like colour thing of Neverland, this map. And again, thick, because new school game books are much, much thicker with many more options and
They don't
yada,
end
yada,
at
yada.
400 anymore.
No, they don't. Although actually not all the Fighting Fantasy books do either, but obviously most of them do, because that's in tradition. Right,
Now-
let's put these over here so they don't get mixed up again.
Alphabetically, next is one that begins with A.
Ah,
Okay,
Yes.
It is Just Crunch Games, who are the gaming division of All Rolled Up. So basically, All Rolled Up is kind of the wife, and Just Crunch Games is kind of the husband.
this
So
remind me,
it's
is
sort
that part of it?
of- No,
No, didn't think so.
it's the Cthulhu hack.
Okay, there's 2 prizes for this. The Cthulhu hack, it's obviously Cthulhu based, but it's kind of
There's
a...
one prize, I think.
Yes,
this
sorry, I
is
beg your pardon.
modules for the first,
Yeah. Do you want to explain it, because you know more about the hack
Yeah,
than me?
sure. So, if you're familiar with the Black Hack, we'll be getting to that soon, by the way. There is a Cthulhu hack, which is much the same thing. So, this is a fully boxed one. So, I don't know if we should open it or
I think
not.
it's got the
It's a collector's edition.
stuff. It's got the stuff there. on the
Sorry, Essentials edition. Right. It includes core rules, character gen mechanics, Mythos 101, Haunter of the Dark, creating new investigations from unformed realms, creating new horrors, plus 4 character cards. So, apparently.
Yes.
Right, so basically, Black Hack is an OSR style game, but with modern considered mechanics that make sense. For example, in the Black Hack, if you're like a ranger or something, your ammo would start at, let's say, D20. When you roll a 1, it goes down a die size to D12. When you roll a 1 again, it goes down to D10. Until eventually you got D4, you roll a 1, you've run out. So it's a very simplified way of mechanic. You don't have to worry about keeping track of details. It's simple and elegant, and it just kind of works. So this prize is the Cthulhu hack variant of that. And this Cthulhu hack investigations book called Mother's Love, so you get a load of adventures as well. So you get the Essentials kit, which is a boxed edition of the Cthulhu hack, and a book of modules. And that is from Just Crunch, which, as I say, is a division of All Rolled Up, or vice versa, etc. The next one we haven't received yet. I gather last year's prize winners did get theirs, because this was one where last year we gave them away before the Kickstarter was complete.
Yes.
So, whereas this year Kickstarter's done, we are expecting to receive them soon. It is a Kakapopo TCG. We're not entirely sure what it's going to send us. So I can tell you a bit about what they do, because I know when I spoke to him in June, he promised quite a lot of different things, but since then he just kind of said I'll get on it, and I don't really know what it is that.
But
that's
there's
coming.
2 main things that Kakapopo do. One of them is these incredibly heavy, sturdy dice called table
Solid
breakers.
metal dice.
They are solid metal. They will literally break your table if
Yeah.
you're not careful. And the other one is he's made a lot of these kind of card boxes, like metal boxes.
Yeah,
of
storage
cards.
boxes, but for games, and he does some really nice ones, including one that looks like a milk carton, which is quite random. He's got a lovely kind of fantasy one with some lovely decorated boxes. But the table breaker dice, he calls them, they're much larger than standard dice. So it's not just that they're
huge,
metal.
like golf balls.
Yeah.
They're like they are actual spiky golf balls. I'm not suggesting you use them when playing golf, because that could be quite dangerous, but they would probably work quite well. Except they're heavier than golf balls. Would you like
Right.
some water?
I would, but I've not quite finished my beer. I'd like it in 1 sip's time.
Because I was about to go and get some, because my
Yes.
throat's faltering.
Can you take the glass? Thank you. Right, so the next prize, this was a revolutionary product when it came out. I'm just going to get it sorted. So we need that, and we need, I think it is not them, it's them. Right. So this is from Loki Battle Mat. So I'm going to deal. They've given us several things to give away. So is it one of them or is it multiples? I think it's one. Right. So we've got a set of Blue Gem Sparkle dice, which is a nice set of translucent dice. They're sparkly, so it's like that's nice. But it's a 7 dice poly set. We've got this Cthulhu themed notebook, which is part plain, part lined. So just a useful thing for taking notes, but Cthulhu themed. But then we've got the thing that they burst onto the scene this year with this really amazing product, which we've got the A4 version of it. It is their Battle Mats book. So it's kind of like a lay flat style book where actually this is ring bound, but it's basically I actually own an A3 one of these because it's just so damned useful. Like if you game with miniatures at all, what you find over time is that it takes a long time to set the scenery up. So what I do when I game is I'll set up miniatures before people arrive, but during the session I use one of these. So like I use this in my own games. That like pretty much any game I use minis, I use this for any encounter after the first, basically. That's how good they are. And we're also going to give away, because I don't use the iconography sheet, so you're going to get mine as well. So we've got 3 sets of the kind of tiles things. It's fantasy one side and sci-fi the other. And so the big things on one side, you've got like a fort thing here. That is a spaceship on the other side. So you've got both fantasy and spaceship. You've got like a Sarlacc pit here from Star Wars, which is quite cool. So that's from Loki Battle Mats. And when they launched their product this year, I remember when it went absolutely insane. It's all when you go into the conventions, I just kept seeing absolutely everyone with a bag with their product in. It's going like hotcakes. Now I haven't missed any. We have got to a company that I don't know what they're going to do for us. It's another one that has gone quiet. So it's a company called Miniature You. They have a phone app that scans you, and oh, thank you so much. From that, they do a 3D printout. Now it only works on some phones, but they've gone quiet on us, so we don't quite know what we're going to be giving away for them, and may or may not disappear off the site, so we'll find out. Mongoose Publishing, we don't know, you said they were selling something.
Yes. So Mongoose have said to me to come back to them at the start of October because they have something in the works which you may or may not know about, although I'm not going to say what it is yet. It's a new sort of supplement, if you will, and they are determined to get it sent to us. That's why they're sort of saying, hold on a second, it's not quite ready. Mm-hmm. So very exciting, very fresh, very new.
I think you know about the next 2, so I'm going to take this opportunity to sneak out for a moment.
Sure.
So
just mind the drinks over there.
Will do. I'll certainly won't knock it in the direction of all the prizes.
Please. Like the brew dog at one time.
We don't talk about the incident.
I will read out a bit of the chat though. So Art says LGBT community is really coming up in the gaming community as a vital component. I got my boyfriend into gaming and it's really bolstered our relationship. So me and Becky, we met at the UK Games Expo, and it is very, very significant in our relationship that we both play games together. It's very important to us. Although, because we've been getting the con ready, we haven't actually played many games ourselves recently. But yeah, I completely agree. I think it's fantastic that the LGBTQ I can't talk tonight. I'm sorry. The LGBTQ community is coming up more often. It's being regarded more often. People are taking more care with them to be inclusive, and there's a lot of stuff at the minute with things like consent forms and X cards as well. Has the whole stream frozen, or is it just me? Oh, yes it has. What is going on with that? Oh dear. Let's see what's going on with this. Right, sorry about that. I don't know when it started freezing. Let's just give it a minute. Basically, the stream was just buffering and buffering for ages, and I only just realised because of the chat, so I'm just giving it a minute. Yeah, it is just buffering like that, look.
What do you mean? I don't understand what I'm looking at.
The preview, look. On the preview, it's just spinning.
Well, we should have paused that anyway. Choosing up bandwidth.
Right, okay. Are we still with you?
I can see artist saying it's back.
Yeah, but I want to make sure it wasn't temporary.
Now, Fuke says it was just... Oh.
Okay, gone. There you go.
Gone, as in the stream's gone, or?
Well, yeah. Have a look at the XSplit.
Where is it? We're still broadcasting. We have dropped frame 0. So try refreshing your browsers, guys, and then let us know how it goes. Yeah. Which point did you get up to as well?
Maybe put that in the chat as well.
Yeah,
can
you tell us in the chat so that we know?
No, as in you need to write in the chat.
I can't get to that, can I? It's dead, Jim. It's dead.
This is what I mean. They can't see us.
Oh! Could you use the mouse to click into the chat window so I can type? After brief, now, please.
Hey, kitty.
We'll see where we're at. For those who watch the replay of this, I'm really sorry. As far as our front end is concerned, it's actually saying we haven't dropped any frames. Yeah, I've tried reloading a few times and it stops dead. Jason's saying, got back to me at the start of October.
That bit. Why is it doing that? That's so weird. It's in a loop.
It's in a loop. This is a YouTube issue. Because...
yeah, this is definitely not us.
Sending fine. So, okay. What I'm going to try doing... We might have to make a new copy of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
But let's...
See a new stream?
You're probably seeing next...
weeks.
Bugger. Closing all the windows. Okay. Give us a moment. Give us a moment. Yeah, we've lost all our viewers. Oh!
He lives again.
McCravick says that I think we might be back. Reinitiating the stream might have saved it.
Hopefully. Can you see us? Can you hear us? Are we moving? Can you see me? Please say if you can see.
It looks like it's fine on our
Yep.
preview. I've paused it again, obviously, but yeah, let us know in the chat.
Please say something. Yep, hooray. Okay, that is weird. That is not our fault. That was YouTube's fault. Okay.
What sponsor were we up to?
Yeah, so I don't know how long it was like that, so you might have to help in terms of where we were. Oh, I think I remember what they were talking about. So, Yes, so Mongoose have come up with another system, another supplement that they are determined... It keeps freezing though. Damn YouTube. Yeah, so they have said to me, come back in a little bit because we will hopefully have this new thing ready by Complus.
Okay.
So very fresh, very new.
All right.
Very exciting.
So that basically means I didn't miss anything.
No, although I was going to talk about the LGBTQ post as well.
What, for Nathan? We did?
No, another one.
Oh.
Further up from Art.
Where's
From
the
California.
The mouse.
The
All
mouse
the way
is
over
up there.
Come back, mouse. All is forgiven. Right.
Well, I was going to do it while you've gone, but now it's not so much of a problem because obviously you're back now.
So LGBT community is really coming up in the gaming community as a vital component. I got my boyfriend into gaming and it's really bolstered our relationship. You know, I mean, I when a couple games,
Yes.
it makes such a difference to your life, having your partner there. And there's an old trope, isn't there, about the girlfriend in role playing groups, like the girlfriend of the GM. They call it the GMGF, and it's generally people seem to have this kind of derogatory attitude towards it. But I think this girlfriend kind of rocks, if I say so myself, when it comes to gaming.
We both rock, dear.
Alright. So next, I believe, after Mongoose, it's Mythical Throne Entertainment.
Mystical Throne.
Mystical. You know, I had real trouble updating their prize list because I typed Mythical
Oopsie.
when I should have been typing Mystical.
I see.
Right, yes. So they are sending you 5 copies of the Fallen PDF.
Fallen, yes. This is a fairly new system the Mystical Throne have done. It's pretty dark. Not super dark, but it's got that kind of dark epic sort of feeling. If I remember rightly, you are a lowlife. You have made mistakes, things like that. You are one of the fallen, and you're kind of living this half-life. You're not quite alive anymore, but you're not dead either. It kind of reminded me a bit of things like Changeling, The Lost, and Werewolf the Forsaken, a bit like that.
Okay.
So you're kind of an outcast of society and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, there's 5 copies of that. It looks like a really cool system, something a bit different, especially for Halloween. That would be nice.
Onyx Path Publishing are next.
Now Onyx Path, there's a couple of things with that. So we're giving away a big bundle of prizes from them like last year, but also Onyx Path are doing a new system that is coming out roughly about the time the con starts. So that will all be part of the stream and the interview and so on.
Okay, which one's that? Because we're giving away several different things here.
It's none of those. The reason being that it is literally just starting as a Kickstarter, so we haven't got anything to give away for that system, but it's more kind of like a promotional thing.
Okay,
because
so we're giving away loads of their stuff, and the interview will be on the new thing that's coming.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So we're giving away the Scion PDF, 5 copies of that. We're giving away 5 copies of the Scarred Lands. It says that's a bundle, actually, for both of these. So is that more than one book?
Yeah, it's various different PDFs
right.
as part of that system.
So
for each
the Scion PDF 5 copies is a bundle of books, and Scarred Lands PDF is a bundle of books. And there's 5 bundles of each being given away, and then another bundle, the Onyx Path Fiction PDF bundle. So is this like stories? Fiction?
I think so, although that prize was sorted out months ago, so I'm not 100% sure, I'm afraid. But obviously we will revise our memories beforehand.
Okay. Now the next one is one we do have a physical copy of. For those of you into old school gaming and know of Osric, now Osric you can download a free PDF of. In fact, we need to make sure that's in our
Swag
bundle,
bag.
swag bag.
Yes.
But you can get a physical print,
That's
and we
very
have a
bright.
signed physical print of the Osric second edition book. This is the updated second edition. Now, for those of you who don't know what Osric is, it is old school reference and index compilation. It is essentially first edition gaming, I believe the term that people generally use when they're trying not to say Dungeons and Dragons. So it's very old school, but it's all done in a kind of OGL way, and it was originally done so that publishers could release content for first edition, because first edition was still popular, but it was out of print, and you couldn't get a license to print stuff for first edition. So a guy called Stuart Marshall, together with Matt Lane did a lot of the initial writing, and then Stuart Marshall kind of cobbled it all together, turned it into Osric, and they were very careful in how they did things so that they didn't breach any sort of copyright or trademark rules.
Yeah.
And this is how you can still buy first edition today. It's just not called Dungeons and Dragons, it's called Osric. There's a few subtle differences for legal reasons in a few places, but that's it. It's first edition gaming, and there's a signed copy. Now, of course, some people will say, of course, it's not Dungeons and Dragons, and Stuart will never say, because it would breach Gary Gygax's contract, so he would never say something like Gary Gygax actually helped and assisted in writing it. So, of course, that's not true. Gary didn't do that. Honest.
Wow. And also Becky's like best friends with him, so.
Well, yeah, I've known Stuart all my life. Since I was about 16. So, next up...
We've got quite a lot of chat going on here. It's great.
There is. So, I haven't actually watched these movies.
There's some more LGBTQ stuff above and things to do with girl gamers.
Okay, cool. Keep chatting. Meanwhile... Now, this is a star prize. That's a physical prize that we haven't got here, and I'm panicking because it really needs to be here. So what they said they're going to give us, and of course we can't confirm it 100% until it's arrived and we know we've got it to give away. But Paizo have backed us for a number of years. Certainly for as long as we've done Con Plus, they've backed us.
They've definitely backed us for GradeCon as well.
Yeah, I think.
But their prizes for Con Plus have definitely grown.
Yeah. Now, what they did say earlier in the year, and actually I know it was exact prizes to be confirmed when we were talking to them, but they said they'd give us one copy to give away and then one copy for the kids at the Butterfly Project for everything that they gave. So it was going to be a Starfinder beginner box, a Pathfinder second edition, 2 copies. Oh, right, no, sorry, I'm just misreading. And Bestiary. Now, we were hoping / expecting that these would be fully signed like they did last year, because last year they gave us a Pathfinder that was signed by literally everyone.
Every single person.
And then they gave us a Starfinder collection that was this huge, but it was about this thick of print stuff, right? And you know, it was huge collection of Starfinder stuff. So we were kind of hoping for that again, and we were in talks, and so just hopefully that's what comes along, but until we get it we don't know for sure. Sorry. So Pelgrane Press,
is that in
it
a
is
box?
out here somewhere. It's out. No, it's loose, but I think it's down below here. No. It definitely. It was one of the first
We've
things
missed
that gone
these
out.
people out.
No, we haven't got to them. We're on P.
Right, you've done it differently to how I did it. Okay.
Well,
It's not
they're
downstairs,
S for
is it?
studio. No, it's definitely up here.
Studio. You don't know.
It's definitely up here.
It's not in this bundle.
It's not in that bundle.
No.
You're right, but it was the first thing I put on the table.
Oh. Oh dear.
We will find it.
Why-
Oh no, look, it's there.
Okay.
It's
Under
underneath.
all the miniatures. Oh dear.
Oh, something fell on the floor, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going in to recover. Oh. Yeah, you can do this.
Okay.
Elegant.
So, this is a new sponsor, but fairly well known. This is Pelgrane Press, who have done 13th Age. So they have given us a hardback, beautiful copy of their new supplement for 13th Age, Shards of the Broken Sky, which is amazing. It's got these lovely big illustration spreads like this, and I had a really, again, like we've done, I had a really great time talking to Kat about the system, because I'm not actually that familiar with 13th Age. But this is basically a sandbox adventure for 13th Age from levels 1 to 7. So,
Cool.
quite big,
Yeah,
really.
It's enough to keep you going a long time.
It apparently includes 19 dungeons and adventure locations, 111 new monsters, 14 new magical treasures, and 3 new optional PC races, which are the Lava Dwarf, the Ooze Folk, and Ophidian. And another prize, which is a bit different because this has never really happened before, is every single person who signs up to the mailing list and therefore gets the swag bag after the con will also get a small voucher to spend in their web store. Which I believe it's either $5 or $3. I can't remember. I think it's $5.
Do I have to figure out how to send out unique voucher codes to everyone?
No. We've got the code. It's for everybody, so we just put that in.
Okay.
Yeah. So every single one of you, as long as you sign up to the mailing list, which you can do on the website, you will get $5. I believe it's $5, possibly $3. We will double check on their website, and you can get that deduction on anything you want in their store.
Awesome. So next up is Pinnacle Entertainment Group.
Ah, yes, Savage Worlds.
Oh no, that's the one I was thinking that was really cheap, and I thought it was Fate's. I mean, Fate isn't that expensive, but...
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. When I was saying it was $10
Right,
for decades.
yes.
No, it was Savage Worlds. Donkey Becky. Although, I think Fate Accelerated is actually really cheap, isn't it?
Well, like I was saying, Fate Accelerated, it's literally £3.
Yeah.
If you want to get the Fate Core book, that's more like £10, £12.
Okay. So, Pinnacle Entertainment Groups, who we should be talking about, and yes, they are behind Savage Worlds, who have just done their new 2nd edition,
Yeah.
and they're giving 10 people $5 toward that. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's
a little bit of a discount.
One of our admin's favourite systems, or one of his favourite systems anyway. Maybe Castle Falkenstein's his
Okay,
favourite.
now the next one, occasional viewer of this channel,
Parrot Gamers.
huge backing here. This list goes on for quite a while.
So Parrot Gamers are a group of people of different sort of neurodiversities, and they make various different supplements. There are a couple as well on the way, which the founder Jaren has been telling me about. But their main thing at the moment is Legat, or rather Legat's Tome of Amazing Creatures, which is kind of like a monster manual. It works with 5th Ed, but it is a homebrew setting, so lots of weird and wonderful unique monsters, and they've done now 3 volumes of this. So, if I'm right, there's a massive load of bundles of these, and these
1,
will...
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bundles
10 bundles.
of Legat's Tome of Monsters. Now, we know it's volumes 1 and 2. Is volume 3 actually out yet?
Possibly. It will possibly be ready.
And if it's ready, it'll be included.
Yeah, because that's been quite a recent Kickstarter from a couple of months ago, so he wasn't 100% sure it'll be ready, but hopefully, yes, it will.
They've also done a lot of stuff to do with Fiasco.
Yes,
RPG Fiasco.
They've produced some like Fiasco play sets. If you are aware of the sort of RPG game Fiasco, which is quite sort of streamlined and all that.
So that's getting bundled in as well.
Yep. So we have got
that's 3 different PDFs.
Yes, 3 different PDFs each. So we've got a load of those to give away. Some of them will be during the telethon, and others will be part of my Hall of Fame. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, basically it is a commemoration to those of you who have been the most dedicated to the convention. So either you've, I don't know, won the most prizes, you've been on the stream the longest, you've been in the most games, various things like that. So by being dedicated to the con and having a great time, then you will get a prize as well.
Yeah. Now the next one, I'm quite excited about this. This only arrived a couple of days ago.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
where is it?
It's that big box there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This is a new sponsor.
Also jealous, by the way. I want this.
Yeah. You know, I'm tempted to order one. I haven't seen this rolling yet either. So it's a bit special. It is a dice tower, but not like you've seen one before. This is a sci-fi dice tower. And it's very Geiger-esque. So it's kind of got like a Stargate thing going on, but with these kind of, this sort of Geiger-esque sort of alien opening, and then these kind of part robot, part organic claws coming over it. And you said when you rolled this, it rolled really fast, and
yeah,
it's a bit different to how normal dice towers work. So I'm going to step over here. I'm grabbing some dice.
Basically, the dice don't tumble out; they fly out.
Okay, I can't get back. Can you hold that? I'm stuck. Oh my god, Builder's bum crack on camera.
Wow, babe.
Oh,
okay.
There's a lot of prizes.
Right, so hopefully this will work.
Shall I hold it for you?
No, I'm holding it for that. I'm holding it for that. So it goes in the back here in this sort of tube-like sort of.
It's very organic, kind of. You know what it reminds me of? Tyranids in the Warhammer universe.
But anyway, observe.
Very alien. Ah.
In fact, I'll do it from the side to make it sort of more apparent, but. So it flies straight out.
Very quick and not as noisy as most dice towers.
I'll try and tilt it so you can see a bit better. So it really comes out and hits the back here. And it has this eerie quietness just for a brief second. When I tried it, I was like, oh, that's new.
I actually prefer that to look, because most dice towers
is
clunk, 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 clunk. Wow.
Whereas that, it's very clean.
Yeah. It's very fast, not that noisy, and it looks amazing.
And, of course, it's not painted. So you can paint this.
You could paint this. So this is, it's from Proteus 3D. They are a 3D printing company. Had a great chat with Proteus. He had some amazing stuff on show.
Yeah,
and it's actually, I point out when I endorse a company when I personally use them. As I mentioned earlier, I'm planning at the moment, or I'm currently 3D modelling Middle Earth so I can get it 3D printed to use it as a gaming board for the War of the Ring board game. That's the company I've chosen to 3D print because the quality of that they do is really good.
Yeah. But yeah, they do a lot of kind of sci-fi scenery and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you want a dungeon set, they have like the designs, and you just sort of go, yeah, I'll have that printed, and if you've got something in particular you want, you download something from Thingiverse, send it to them, they'll print it off, and so it's really cool.
Fuchs says, would not want to use metal dice for that tower. No, probably not. But you can use normal dice, fine. That's all good.
Normal metal dice would be fine. Table breakers might be an issue.
Yeah. I don't know if they would even fit in there, actually.
I doubt they were not the table breakers.
But the funnel is quite big, so...
You won't get a table breaker in there.
Not a table breaker, no.
No. Right.
Ooh, now this one.
Yeah, I mean, this company, last year they didn't have a new product out, so they didn't actually do a giveaway last year. So what they did instead is they made a huge donation.
Massive.
But this year they have one of the most anticipated products of the year.
But disclaimer, it probably won't be ready by the con because at the moment it's in print and they're sorting all that out and it's a lot of work. And they said, okay, probably the timescales, and no, it won't be ready. But it is something very fresh off the market. Lots of people know about it, and lots of people are very excited about it.
Including me.
And me.
So
it is Artalzorian Games with their new Cyberpunk Red Box.
So we're giving away 3 copies of their Jumpstart kit.
That could be yours.
Mm-hmm.
You lucky things.
Yeah, I'm getting the computer game personally. I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh my goodness me, yes. Hopefully our graphics cards can take it.
No, I need a new graphics card. Right. So we don't have that to show. So the next is actually, this is another PDF prize, and then we've got something to show. Huge one. But this one, before we get there, is Raging Swan Press.
Yep.
And we're giving away 5 copies of the Thingonomicon. Do you know what that is? Because I don't.
So Raging Swan Press, they are a nice little company that do a lot of GM kind of hints and tips supplement type things.
Okay.
So I believe, but again this was sorted out many moons ago, I believe the Thingonomicon is kind of like a massive supplement of different items you can use, but I'm not 100% sure. I might have to look it up.
Well, whilst you do that, I'm going to move on to one of our... This is another one of our star prizes, and we do have some of these to show you. We have most of it, actually. We've got another lot coming Monday, so I'll have to explain that when we get to it. But let's start with one of their smaller star prizes. This huge thing.
Yes.
Upside down. It's huge. Reaper Miniatures are backing us this year. They did actually help us out last year. They didn't do a prize giveaway because I got in touch with Kit from Reaper just before the convention last year. When we discovered the Butterfly Project, and I put together a little aid package. I got some stuff from our friends at Paizo and some stuff from Kit at Reaper, and threw in some bits myself, and we sent that over to the kids. So Reaper, they gave the kids a load of miniatures, like bucket loads, paintbrushes and paints. But this year, they are giving you the chance to win some of this stuff. So this is Kit's personal favourite model, right? And that's why it's included. This is Dragons Don't Share. And it is, I'll show you the back because it's got sort of photos of the painted thing. You get this diorama set. Where am I putting it? Over here. You get the heroes and you get this giant dragon. And of course I mean, it's just epic. It's an epic diorama. The heroes are, you get Sir Rathan Kranzel, who's a
warrior.
A warrior in sort of plate armor type thing, sword and shield. You get Andresa, a wizard, who's sort of wearing she's in a kind of roby thing. Then there's an elf ranger.
With a very spiky bow, I must say.
Yes.
That must have practical storage problems.
That became I think Diablo was the first kind of RPG project, the computer game Diablo, where I started seeing these bows that had a kind of graphic where they've kind of got these spikes on it. I'll show you what we're talking about here. If I can get the see the spikes on that bow and the character in the middle there. So then there's a female rogue, leather armor with some pauldrons, and then there's a dwarf cleric who's holding. What is he holding?
That's
It's a staff.
Yes, a staff.
It's a big warhammer. It's a massive warhammer. Yeah, that's quite cool. I like that. And it's a very characterful dragon, lots of expression on its face.
And over 9 inches high.
Yeah. It's and the terrain it's a lovely piece, sort of a ruined stonework type thing. So that's one of our star prizes, but this is not the biggest thing Reaper are giving away.
No.
The biggest single thing they're giving away is the biggest model they've ever produced. Its official name is Maldrakar. It is colloquially known as Tiamat, because it's basically Tiamat, but because they can't say Tiamat, the public tend to call it Tiamat. So this is Maldrakar. I actually have one of these myself, because it was, at the time it was made, the biggest single miniature character ever produced. The biggest...
And then you broke the news to me.
Yes. I did forewarn you this was coming. So this is the big 5-headed dragon. It stands over a foot tall. The wingspan is... How big is that?
Over 12 inches high, 13 inches across.
Right, let me turn it around to show you the painted picture at the back. I think when it comes to the con, we'll actually show my model just so people can't actually get this on camera, but there you go. This is a huge model. It is amazing. So I have this one myself, and actually it wasn't that hard to paint. It's sculpted by a very famous sculptor, actually, Julie Guthrie. And it is epic. But those are not the only things Reaper are giving away. We mentioned earlier the dungeon sets from D&B Games. And we said that other people had contributed, were going to contribute to the same prize. We're going to put miniatures into those giveaways. So we have, it was originally going to be 3 sets of undead, and they're all going to be the same, but it's kind of changed. So I'm not exactly sure what the distribution will be here. So we're going to give away 2 sets of undead. So 2 of those dungeon sets will include undead. So and what you'll basically get, I'm just trying to work out what it is now. So that'll go in the other set. Let me see. Skeleton Warrior, Lich, Skeleton Warrior, Zombie, Lich, Zombie, Skeleton Warrior, Archer. Right, that's it. So what you will get for 2 of you will get a Lich, that's in there. You will get a Spirit, which is one of their translucent models, and you will get some Skeleton Archers, 3 of them, and you will get 3 Zombies. So you'll have some monsters to put into your dungeons to get you started, and 2 of you will get that. Now, the third person, what happened was...
The third person.
They ran out of liches. They only had 2 liches to send. So what Kit did is he sent me the rest. So you got the spirit, the skeletons and the zombies. And then he said, look, I can't give you another lich. I haven't got one to send. We're out of stock. So he gave me a £100 voucher. And this stuff is arriving on Monday. So instead of a lich, this is what you get.
So, just to clarify, is the third person getting all of this stuff?
Well, probably the first person, then the next 2 doesn't get all of this stuff.
Okay.
But yes, so instead of a lich, this is what you get. All right.
Slightly better than just a lich.
Yes. An oxidation beast, which is basically a rust monster. A mocking beast, which is basically a mimic. Kavorg. I don't know what that is. That's a named monster of some
Orc
sort.
war boss. It's
No.
the orc.
Oh, that is the orc war boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, an orc war boss. Black Tongue, a gnoll archer. A set of vermin scorpions.
And spider swarms.
A set of verbin spider swarm. A charnel grub. Now, oh god, what is that? Is that the carrion crawler or? It's one of the critters. I can't remember now. Stone lurker, which is essentially a roper. I have that model. It looked fantastic, painted up. Bone Flail, the Gnoll Cleric. Togra, the Gnoll Leader. So basically you're getting a load of Gnolls. Bloodmane, the Gnoll Warrior. You get a giant Were-Rat. A Were-Rat Berserker. A Were-Rat Stalker. A Were-Rat Assassin. A Were-Rat Matriarch. So you basically get a load of rat men. You're going to get 2 translucent slimes. A Water Weird. A Stone Giant. A Giant Scorpion. A Shadow Basilisk. A Gnoll Warrior, a Filth Beast. Can't remember what that. That's possibly an Octug. Can't remember now. 2 Dungeon Vermin Ticks, an Orc Grunt, an Orc Slayer, an Orc Chopper, an Orc Slicer. So, basically,
A load of orcs.
A load of orcs. Yeah. A Brain in a Jar. I love that model. It's just fantastic. A Minotaur. And Zilazok, the Naga.
Yeah.
So what you're basically getting instead of a lich
is way more things.
Is a load of different themes you can use and a load of the classic dungeon monsters. I'm expecting it to arrive on Monday, so it wasn't ready in time for tonight's stream. But yeah. So, well done, whoever wins that. And I seriously hope you're not in New Zealand. No offence, because I have to say, we had 2 people win prizes last year from New Zealand, and they were really, really cool. What they did is they got together, they gave me a UK address I could send to, and they paid the postage to send it over to them, and then they split it up and stuff. So it was really cool of them. I kind of joke about the cost of posting to New Zealand because it is hugely expensive.
Diabolical.
But so thank you to those guys who both did.
Hello, Phil. Yes, you are late.
Yeah, just a little. Right, the next sponsor is Red Scar, but we've kind of lost contact with them. So if you know Red Scar, if you are Red Scar, please get back in touch. Respond to Jason's emails. So we don't know what quite is going to happen there. Now,
but we have got this one.
We need to get the Reaper stuff out of the way because it's another physical prize. These guys were great, and this is not a company we would normally get, but because they're an American company, but they happened to come over for UK Games Expo this year, so we bumped into them. And they've got a series of... Oh, thank you for that bash on my kneecap with your elbow. I think that hurts. But
that's miniature you.
That's a sample print of miniature you, but yeah.
Okay.
So this next company is... So we're really lucky to pick them up. And they're really nice guys. It's Roll for Initiative. And
Roll 4?
Yes, Roll 4 Initiative. And have a great day at work there, Fuke. Now,
there's quite a few bits with
lots
this
of
prize.
different things. They basically looked at everything gaming and just took a slightly different approach on it. So the first thing is not quite a standard poly set. That is about 25% larger than the standard dice.
Yeah, 20% larger. So this is Sea Dragon Shimmer. So it's kind of a nice blue-green colour with a bit of sparkle in there. So it's a regular dice set of 7 dice, but the actual size of the numbers is 20% larger. And
yeah, it just makes them easier to read.
They really significantly make it easier to read. Even for somebody who might not need them to be bigger, because, you know, whatever, in terms of their eyesight, it still is really easy to read.
Yeah, you can read them across the table.
Look, you can read them there. Like that. Amazing.
But the next one is actually quite interesting. So this, what pattern is that? Marble
blue. So this is a bigger dice set. It's not just your regular 7. And they've actually put a load on here. Yeah. So basically, there's 15 dice in this box. There are 3 D4s for your magic missiles and your dagger attacks, like sneak attack and stuff. You've got 2 D8 for your clerics, so healing and 2-weapon fighting. 4 D6 for your fireballs. And 3 D20s for things like advantage, disadvantage, if you're attacked twice at level 5. All that. And it's a lovely blue colour. Again, bit of sparkle. Yeah. There is some sort of big error message there.
Error message?
Yeah, look there.
Where?
Behind the XSplit. That massive yellow strip.
What does it say?
I don't know. That's why I'm pointing it out.
Oh.
Just bear with us a second, guys. We need to look at this.
Error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
Oh.
Right. That will be the bit rate. We need to raise it more, but we can't do it midstream. We can't change it.
Okay.
So, sorry if the video isn't smooth at times, folks, guys.
Well, we had a problem with that on Monday.
Yeah, well, Hangouts was playing up on Monday. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Really want to get rid of Hangouts.
Yeah.
That's not the only thing they sent us. Oh, you're going to pull them out there.
Yeah.
No, I really love these because of the bases. But
yes. Excuse me.
So basically, they've done miniatures. They've given us miniatures to give away. These come pre-painted.
Yep.
To a reasonably good standard. They have clear bases, and they actually have a female orc. So, take it away.
Okay.
These are
part of the Characters of Adventure sets that they do. So we've got 6 orcs in here. 2 of them are female. One is like a kind of one with 2 daggers, and she's really quite sort of burly looking. And the other one's an archer. We've got a couple with armour. Some with kind of bigger weapons and stuff like that. Again, they are pre-painted. But there you go. And
I love the clear bases, because if you're using scenery, it's actually really annoying that the base obscures the scenery. And if you decorate the base, I tend not to, because I just feel, okay, it makes the mini stand out, whatever. But if you decorate the base, very rarely that decoration matches the scenery, and that's kind of why I prefer not to do mine. I would love it if all my minis had clear bases.
We've got 6 zombie miniatures, if you're more into your post-apocalyptic or modern settings. Again, 2 females. Some of them are a bit worse for wear, zombie-wise, in the, they haven't got any clothes on, or they've got very little on. Some of them have got weapons, some of them haven't. They're all in these different sort of poses.
It is family friendly.
Like
there's
absolutely.
Nothing's exposed that could provoke conversation.
No, I realised after I said that could mean that, but no, they're not naked.
No,
or
all 6
like
of
that.
them are female. No.
Oh, yes.
It's a joke. It's skeletons.
The skeletons.
How do you know?
The skeletons. So we've got again various different weapons. So we've got ones with shields, spears, swords, archers.
Is the key one.
A wolf, a skeleton wolf. When do you get that? Never. I like the Blade Master as well, because he's got sort of a bit of... I think he's wearing a kilt. Is that a kilt?
Yeah, it could be a kilt, or just, just rags of something. But
it still looks like a kilt, which is cool. I like the spearmen the best.
They look very dainty as well. They've somehow managed to get very thin molds.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're still strong enough to be
they
an intact
look
model. So,
very skeleton-y compared to most other skeleton miniatures you see.
Yeah, because quite often skeletons are actually a bit too thick in the molds, but like the legs here, they look so dainty, and
but actually,
mini.
It's the same with the zombies, and the zombies are thin overall, but they're not as thin as the skeletons, because obviously there's still a bit of flesh on it. But compared to the orcs that are very bulky, there's this lovely comparison in there. And then finally, you've got the humans. We've got, again, 2 females in there, an archer and a blade master. We've got a wizard as well, a ranger, cleric, and a Viking. They're, again, all in lots of different poses, which is nice. I like the wizard one in particular, with the kind of doing this. Very sort of you shall not pass type pose, which is very cool. Actually, I like the male Viking as well. He reminds me of one of the Uruk-hai. Kind of doing that sort of, I've got these weapons here.
So the next thing...
This is still the same sponsor, by the way.
Yeah, it's all still Roll for Initiative. This is basically a double-sided dry erase dungeon tile set. So it's like flat... this one is, sort of flagstone dungeon tiles, but they're double-sided. So you can... So they're square tiles of different shapes. I think they're mostly Yeah, it's either a kind of a double-sized square or a single-sized square. I mean, that's, 3x3, I think. And then the larger one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10x10, or 1, 2, 3, I think it's 5x5.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh god, if I'd actually just read it.
Wow.
This box contains 5 10x10 and 16 5x5 double-sided greystone tiles, and it's dry erase, so you can use your dry white pen to mark out your map, and you could double-side it, so you can either have a completely different map on the back, or dry erase, just wipe it, or you can have a bit where somebody steps on one of the tiles and they set up a trap, and you flip it over and you got the trap stuff on the back maybe, or something like that. So that's really cool. And then we've got another set of these that are hexes, and this is in a slightly different style. It's a kind of a sand or earth tone colour.
It is quite sandy though.
So I'll show you the back, because that kind of makes it a bit clearer. If the reflections on here would just not be there, sorry. So
we'll have the remote camera on the console, be easy to show.
It would be a lot easier. Now this contains, the hex one contains 33 6-inch double-sided tiles. Now, we are also giving away with these decal sheets. Now these decals, you stick them on, but you could just pull them straight off again. They kind of stick on, pull off.
They've got a slight raised effect, I've just noticed as well. They look like they're slightly raised.
That's where they're cut from the acetone.
Oh.
So,
I
yeah.
thought
But
it
they
was
will
like
have that effect.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was like a slight 3D
it uses
effect type thing.
a sort of a static thing to keep it stuck.
Yeah.
So we've got this set, which is the Crypt. So it's all kind of undead type thing. We have a nature set. So, trees, boats, and boulders, and that kind of thing.
And then two more futuristic ones.
Yeah. So these first two will be going with the I was
Greystone?
going to say the Greystone, but I wonder if actually the nature is better off going with.
Yeah,
But
possibly.
actually, no. Sci-fi games tend to be hex. Fantasy games tend to be square. So yeah, we'll give those two will go away with the first set, the Greystone. These two will be going away with the hex set. So we have this spaceship set, which has engines and consoles and
whatever the hell those are, ginormous missile things. Oh, those are engines. Okay.
Yeah. Screens and plasma generators and furniture and all that kind of stuff. And we have future industrial, so you can do like a warehouse type thing with grates and forklifts and vents and whatever the hell that
Scary
is.
portals.
And all sorts of kind of stuff.
Use your imagination.
They do like a sort of a furniture pack, so you can do taverns and stuff. But they had run out when we were sorting the prices out, so there were none in the country. So that is Roll for Initiative, and I think that what they've done is they've looked at all the sort of standard stuff, and they've just made them all just a little bit better, which I applaud. So next up is role-playing tips.
So probably a good few of you have got involved in the mailing list with John Fore, who is the head of role-playing tips. He's a lovely guy who gives you role-playing tips each week, which could be something like splitting the party or making a tavern more exciting, anything like that. But he's also made several apps, and one of them is the Campaign Logger, which is kind of like Twitter, except it's a local app. You make tags on the app, which can be anything from items to characters to plot points to locations. And you as the DM can make this, and you can link things together with tagging and so on. There's no 120 character limit, by the way, but it's kind of set up a bit like Twitter in that it's quite streamlined. But we have, how many of those? We have two copies of the Lifetime Logger. So you can have this for life. And it's a great little tool for not only prepping your games, but the great thing is you can actually do it kind of taking notes during the session whilst you're playing. because it's so easy. You just sort of do a little tweet almost. You're kind of doing a little entry of, oh, okay, so-and-so has picked up this potion or this item. You put that into your app on your phone or your iPad, and then you've got that for the next session or the session after or the campaign. So it's a great way of recording little snippets of things like themes, what's happening, and so on. And you've got 2 of those that you can use for life.
Now the next one is a terrain company that it's another one we've lost contact with, so they might drop off. But Sarissa Precision, we met them earlier in the year, and they did agree to sponsor us. But at the moment, they've kind of gone off the radar a bit. Haven't been replying, so we don't know if we'll have backing from them or not. So, Sly Flourish.
Yes.
Who's giving away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them.
Yeah. So Sly Flourish is returning for another year. Sly Flourish, if you don't know who Sly Flourish is, he is, that's his pseudonym, if you will. He's a guy who has done The Lazy DM, and in particular he's done Return of the Lazy DM recently, and he has written these supplements about how you can... What are you doing?
I was just looking to see, because the
Moving
chat went
stuff around.
quiet, so I just wanted to see if we'd lost connection.
Okay.
But, no, there's people there watching still.
Cool.
Just talk, guys, talk.
Please talk, because I was getting a little bit worried as well. But he has done an amazing job in streamlining techniques for DMs to help you not cut corners, that's the wrong word, but kind of streamline how you do stuff in terms of your prep. It's all fantasy and D&D orientated, but then that is the most popular system anyway. So he's giving away 10 of Return of the Lazy DM, which I highly recommend. I used it for my Cthulhu campaign on Pear of Geeks 2, if you want to watch it, in that I kind of completely revamped how I prepped stuff, and it really, really worked. So, coming from me, yes, it does work. And also he's giving away, is it Fantastic? Yes, Fantastic Locations, 10 of those,
copies.
Which is basically a load of different fantasy locations you can use for inspiration and stuff like that. And it forms part of his lazy DM techniques. So looking at the locations you can travel to and what possibly could be there to discover and things like that.
Also...
Oh yes, and 10 fantastic adventure PDFs. These are actual scenarios. We did a fantastic interview last year where he talked a little bit about his favourite scenario out of these, but they all sound really cool. Again, they're very fantasy orientated, but they're all quite different from each other. So some are more intrigue, some are more action or kind of gallivanting off to rescue something. So if you want actual adventures as part of how you make your lazy DM scenarios, then those are there as well.
Okay, now, the next 2 you know about. I'm going on strike until the chat picks up. Also, I need to make water.
Okay, can you get me some more, please?
Yes. Okay, hiding the builder's bum this time. I'm going to try and... I can't
Go over the
past
fire
it.
hazards.
There's no way. I need to get my foot to there. Too many prizes.
Fortunately, can I just say we're not broadcasting Complus 2 from this room, because that would have been a horrendous problem, especially if there was a fire. Okay, so the next prize, the quantity and the actual copies have not arrived yet, but Storymaster Tales. Now, Storymaster Tales are quite new to the scene of gamebooks. But the guy who does them, Ollie, is absolutely fantastic. He is basically a very long-term actor. He's been into acting and stuff sort of around expressing through performing arts since he was very young. He's also loved fighting fantasy since he was very young. Now, at the convention, also, I think he's been to a few since, including Fighting Fantasy Fest, but he dresses up as Baba Yaga, which is kind of terrifying, but also awesome. He's very visual and very expressive in the way he kind of conveys stuff. But basically, he's made a game book called The Weirding Woods, which is more kind of dark, gritty fantasy. But the great thing about this, and we talked about this quite in depth in our interview at the expo, is that it is for multiple players. So this is a game book, so normally you just sort of play it by yourself, you turn to different paragraphs and you roll some dice. This is for multiple players. You can play this with, I think it's up to 8, maybe, or maybe 6. Again, I'll have to double check that. But you can have somebody reading stuff out, you can have people collaborating, there's other sort of mechanics in there where you can roll different stuff together, there's different like tokens you use as well. So it's quite revolutionary. And that, yes, I've talked about the new school stuff where you got thicker books, more options, more open world, but this is multiple players. Also, he has done a load of soundtracks to accompany the books, which is fantastic. So he's going to give away, we haven't fully confirmed, but he is going to at least give away some copies of his new book, The Wading Woods. It's just finished on Kickstarter. And the first batch have just gone out to backers. So I don't know 100% what he's giving away, but that is basically the premise of what he's doing. And we become great friends over the course of the past few months. And then, of course, the legendary Studio Agat, who are also a recurring sponsor. They sponsored us for BrigadeCon in 2015. And Con+1. They have given us even more stuff this year than before, and they are also going to be donating this year, which is fantastic. Do you mind if you talk about this a little bit while I pop to the loo?
Sure. Do you want to come out first?
Yes.
Climb over you. We'll just have, very briefly, nothing on screen. No Poggians. Oh God. There is just so much prizes here. Hello. Right, so yes, now, viewers of the channel might recall I was drooling all over the Fate Forge books from Studio Agate when they were doing their Kickstarter, and they had a secret stretch goal on that Kickstarter which they did hit, and that was when they hit 120,000 on their Kickstarter, they were going to give 1,000 of that to the Butterfly Project. That's in dollars. So they have donated, or are in the process of donating, $1,000 to the Butterfly Project. I was sorting out the paperwork for it this morning. So that should be going through very soon, and then our ticker, when it gets to Con Plus, will go up massively. It's on well, where are we on at the moment? 667, and it's about to jump up. Oh, you're back?
Yes.
So huge thanks to Nell for doing that. More Kickstarters should have secret stretch goals of donating to the Butterfly Project, I think.
Yes.
And I love Fate Forge. In fact, I'm going to end up with 2 copies of the book, so we'll each have one.
Yes.
So, yes. Personal endorsement from me there. But they've given us loads of stuff for Shadows of Esteron, which is their is it the True 20 derived? No.
Shall I talk about this one?
You know the system better. I've played it, but I've never run it.
Okay.
Books,
so Shadows of Esteron, if you like dark, gritty horror with sort of insanity mechanics and things, but it's set in very low fantasy, kind of pre-medieval, so almost Celtic in imagination, then this is the system for you. It is absolutely beautiful in terms of the artwork, in terms of how it's laid out, just everything imaginable. So, for example, this is the sort of main core book, if you will, but there are 3 books. There's a prologue, there's this book, and then there's another book after that. And just look at the artwork on that. It's absolutely amazing.
They've always had, Studio Agate's art has always been just a step above, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And they are another company that like to do multimedia, so they've made soundtracks as well. So, for example, we have a copy of the soundtrack of Shadows of Esteron to give away. But it's all about kind of, sort of, what's the opposite of larger than life? Kind of low profile heroes who are not really heroes at all. They're just sort of normal people.
Mm-hmm.
You might have a priest here and there, or somebody a little bit special, so maybe a bounty hunter, but that's about it. It's really not heroic at all, this system. There is a lot of travelling involved. There's a lot of different mix of cultures and cultural differences involved. So one is more concerned about technology, for example, and that can play in. So there's a little bit of alchemy and stuff in there. And then there is the overlying threat called the Feyond, which are these kind of demonic creatures. And it's a really lovely system. I don't play it very much, unfortunately. The system itself is very light, but the bundle we're giving away is really not very light.
No, I think this should be like one kind of star prize, super prize type thing.
Yeah.
Along with some of those. So this first prize will be. Then
again, there is this as well.
That's also in here. We have two.
Oh,
copies
okay,
of it.
okay.
So we gave this away last. There's a cookbook in this of recipes from the world. Which I know one of the viewers on the stream did actually cook of the meals on this last year. Because we did give away, I think we had like 6 copies of that we gave away last year. There's this Shadows of Esteren Hauntings book. This is like a tales, so kind of like little short stories that kind of set the scene. We're going to give away the music.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack, yeah.
It's not just like a bog standard MIDI track or anything like that. This is done by a real orchestra.
It's a full orchestra.
A full orchestra that they funded a few years ago.
Now, I don't know what this is because it's sealed and it doesn't really say much or anything. So I think on the stream we'll have to bust that open and find out what the hell it is.
I couldn't remember last time what this was either. I couldn't remember if it was a map or something like that.
We may have to just open
it's
one
a mystery prize
and find out. We have a Book 1 Universe. So this is presumably about the world.
Yeah, again, this is sort of the main player's book that you'll need. So it's a lot about the actual setting. It's got kind of the basic kind of mechanics or classes you want to play and things like that.
Okay, yeah, it's got chapter 1 is about the world, Treacazel.
Yeah, Treacazel.
Chapter 2 is a lifestyle, so that's going to be habits and customs, handicrafts, food, architecture, all that kind of stuff. Chapter 3 is factions. Chapter 4 is the game system, and that's what is in book 1. And of course, there's several pages of content. There's a lot in here. This is a fair-sized book. This is. Let me see. Let's just go to.
I'd say about 400 pages.
I think it's around 300.
289.
280. You found a page now. Oh yeah, 289. So yeah, it's a fair-sized book. We're also going to include, whatever this is. We'll open one up at the con and we'll find out. Occultism. This is sealed at the moment, and it seems to have multiple things in.
Yeah, there's a small book at the back, like a paperback.
Okay.
Book.
So it has got Occultism in Treacazel, The Circle of Emergence, and something called A Tidy Room.
Yeah. So there are 3 scenarios. Like kind of introductory chapters in that small book.
So is this handouts then, this paperback?
Perhaps they do like their handouts. But there's a lot of occultism in Shadows of Esteren, especially surrounding the priest called the Demorthen. It's sort of magic, sort of not. It's nice. I like it a lot. So there's a supplement for them on this.
Right. There's Shadows of Esteren, The Monastery of Tuath.
Now that's definitely a scenario.
Yeah. Oh, you can see.
With handouts.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's kind of a murder mystery type scenario, I believe.
That's pretty though. Look. It's got pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty. Can't really show you with the gloss on from the camera. We've got.
And Phil is saying yes, he got one. Yes, he did get one of the Shadows of Esteren
Did you
books.
cook one of the recipes, Phil? And was it any good? And then also in this same bundle is the Black Moon Handbook.
This one's quite new.
Okay, I was just trying to read it.
So I'm not that familiar with it, but it's basically kind of to do with ghost hunting and...
Yeah, so Chapter 1 is Haunting Phenomena and Ghosts in Treacazel. Chapter 2 is Figures.
Like, important figures.
Chapter 3 is Ghost Hunting, and Chapter 4 is a Bestiary. So it's a little expansion, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these books are always so pretty when from the studio. Okay. So pretty.
They're like massive paint spread type things.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
They're always their work is just so good. And we'll throw in also as well. We've got lots of art. These we're not going to do these as individual giveaways. These will be thrown into various other prizes.
Now these are from Fate Forge.
Yes, I remember that in the Fate Forge book. So some basically Fate Forge art postcards will be thrown into various prizes.
Yep.
That people win.
Yep. And then we've also got these, which are from Shadows of Estrin.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, they're more sort of gothic.
Yeah.
We've got like a lady called Adelaine, who, Adeliane. She's a sort of prominent character in one of the scenarios that they published a few years ago. And there's like a goblet thing here as well.
Mm-hmm. Now another person's going to win a kind of runner-up prize where they'll also get the Book of Haunting, so some inspiration short stories. You're also going to get the Black Moon Handbook, so the kind of ghost hunting thing. Whether you got Shadows of Estrin or not, maybe it will inspire something in your stories. Maybe when you see how pretty these books are, you might go out and buy either Shadows of Estrin or Fate Forge. You're also going to get this secret book. We don't know what it is.
I think it might be a map.
And a cookbook. Well, there's several leaves in there. You can kind of, on one of them, you could kind of see that there was multiple bits of paper, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And then somebody else will win the secret book and the cookbook. And yeah, you'll get lots of postcards and stuff in there as well. Mm-hmm. That is Studio Agate. So, moving
Ronnie
on.
has joined the party.
Hello, Ronnie.
Finally.
I will do a link video if I don't get lynched by the
Incel movement
first. Oh, you'll be getting trouble on your videos, Ronnie.
Ooh. Sounds a bit grisly.
Sirenscape.
Yes. We are in cahoots with Sirenscape for this year, which I'm very excited about. We're sorting out interview at the moment. But they are going to be giving away 2 of their 2-month subscription. So for 2 months running, you will have access to basically everything.
Yes, the Super Siren subscription.
The Super Sirenscape. And basically, if you don't know what Sirenscape is, where have you been? They've exploded. They are basically, if you want soundtracks or sound effects for your game, these are the people. They not only do a load of different kind of scenes and soundtracks for scenes like a dragon coming in and whatever. They do sound effects that you can add to these. You can change the balance of what sound comes out more than the other one, or different levels and stuff like that.
We're getting a report that YouTube's frozen again.
Oh my god, no.
However, other people seem okay.
Okay. Let us know if we're frozen.
Let us know in the chat. But yes, the date of the convention is 11th to the 13th of October. Our stream, where we're giving away the prizes, will be UTC midday from the 12th, Saturday the 12th of October, until Sunday the 13th of October. So if you're in America, that'll begin Saturday evening. Morning through to Sunday morning. I got my plus and minus the wrong way around there. For us in Britain, it'll be 1 o'clock. For Europe, it'll be 2 o'clock in the afternoon through to the afternoon on the Sunday.
All set, no freeze.
Okay, awesome. So the next sponsor is, we mentioned this earlier.
Well, I was in the middle of talking about the other one.
Oh, sorry.
It's froze, but I lost my train of thought. Oh god, what was I talking about?
It's the Super Sirenscape balance.
Yeah.
Volumes.
So they do all of the sort of soundtracks that you could possibly want, and it includes fantasy, science fiction, horror, lots of different genres, and I don't know how much of that you got, but you can like move sliders around on the app and change how loud things or how soft things are and things like that. But also they do set soundtracks for modules for D&D 5th edition, like official soundtracks. Pathfinder they do, and they've also done some Chaosium ones as well. They are huge. They've done stuff for Chris Perkins, TwitchCon. Chaosium have done some stuff with them as well, and they've got their own sort of Dice Stormers group as well where they do stuff. So in the past few years, they've just exploded into the big industries. So 2 of you will get 2-month subscription prizes for that.
Super Siren
Sorry,
subscriptions.
Super Sirenscape subscriptions.
Okay. Now the next one, we did mention this earlier, but we have the Black Hack to give away. So this is classic old school style gaming, but with a modern, simple, elegant rule set. I have played the Black Hack. I really liked it.
Okay.
It's the style of old school, but it makes sense. You know, I'm pretty sure there's no Thaco if I remember, and it just works and it's nice. It's just a good system, a good, simple, small system. I mean, it's not the biggest book in the world. It's 123 pages, and you know the text isn't that small. It's nicely laid out. It's just a good system. I like it.
It's a good book.
Yeah, it's good. If you like old school gaming, it's good. Now, the next sponsor, we haven't got this to show. It will be a physical prize. We won't be having it to show because it's in New Zealand. But the Mighty Glue Stick, a YouTube channel that we many years ago did collabs for, are giving away an army painter. It's described to me as every army painter paint ever boxed set.
Wow.
Yeah, he was talking about another Maldrakar as well. I need to catch up with him to see exactly what it is and maybe get pictures of them.
Yeah.
Of what we're going to give away. But I know we're going to give away the Army Painter paint set. There might be more. So, next up is the Ultimate Games Master. Now, this is a companion app. Actually, it's kind of 3 apps now. It's really exploded. And it's a really
it's immersive, I would say.
Yeah, an app that makes running the game easier. Now, if you're a streamer, it has a quite cool feature where you can show people's hit points on screen and stuff, and it actually, as you do the damage, it will update people's hit points on screen, things like that. So that's quite cool. So it has a streaming module. But its core module is really just about tracking stuff in... It's got rules for 3.5 and 5th edition. And, you know, just tracking your character sheet in this really nice interface. It's quick and efficient to use. You can bring sounds in. It integrates into Sirenscape if you've got a subscription to that.
Yes, I was going to say that Sirenscape have collaborated with them as well.
It integrates into a Philips Home lighting system, so you can do special effects. And it works over the internet and locally, so everyone can have their character sheet on a device, and the GM can impact that character sheet all around the table or over the internet, however you're playing. They're also introducing a new maps module. So they're calling it Ilma. It's a truly light source real-time 3D system, and you build your world in this tool they've produced, and then you bring it into Ilma, and it's all visualized. And you can, if you're somebody that has a television embedded in your table, you can project a grid onto it, do all that kind of stuff. You can take roofs off houses to have the interiors, all that kind of stuff. All light source, real-time light sourcing fires, pits, and all the rest, kind of all light source and shadow cast. Nice. Really cool. I was talking to them the other day because I popped onto their Discord. I had a little chat with them, and I know. They're just trying to get the first build of Ilma out, but they're saying for the second build, what they're looking at doing is doing a lot more procedural generation tools. So at the moment, like one of the guys built a full town in Ilma the other day, so a fully explorable town, and it took him 2 days when he first did it, and I think he said it took him half a day to do a village. But when they've done the procedural tools, you'd just be able to kind of set up the parameters of what you want, and it will build you
the city for you.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite cool. I'm actually looking forward to trying it.
So what are they actually giving away?
They are giving away. Now we've got 4 prizes from them. So we've got 3-month subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a full total immersion subscription.
Yeah,
so you get
everything.
all of their modules. And then there is one 6-month full total immersion subscription.
So you could basically play a whole campaign with it.
So that's really cool. Now, the next one is another one we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, we mentioned earlier we're giving away these 3 dungeon sets. Touch wood, please turn up. And we're including in that loads of Reaper miniatures. So you'll have dungeon sets, you'll have decor, hopefully with them, and you'll have miniatures. One of you gets lots of miniatures. And also in that same prize, my favourite decor shop for dungeon dressing stuff is a shop called Thomarillion. I have been buying Thomarillion stuff since I first started collecting dungeons. They have amazing pieces. The castle that I have is a Thomarillion castle.
Mm-hmm.
That Balin's tomb model I have, that huge one, that's again, it's Thomarillion. I've mentioned a few times when I actually use the products of some of these sponsors. Thomarillion is definitely one I use. I've got loads of their stuff. They're really good. Dungeon dressing section on their website is my favourite sort of place to browse. And they are giving away, in each of those dungeon sets, the winner will also get a 30 euro voucher to get them started with a little bit of decor for their dungeon to paint up and stuff. So that's really cool. Phil B has said, I haven't, but they are crusted. Oh right, so this is about I asked him about the cooking thing.
Delayed reaction.
I haven't, but they are crusted Calais Tyrine with more
Terrine.
There's
Morphorcere, hazelnuts. Morphorcere is place in the game.
Okay.
Shall I read this?
It's using middle class words. I'm too posh.
Oh. Crusted Calais terrine with Morphorcere, hazelnuts and porcini. Roim lamb with herbs and poached pears a la Osterbale. Osterbale being the capital is probably not pronounced that way because they're a French company. It's probably Osterbay or something like that, but I like Osterbale.
Okay. Now, we're also giving away some computer games this year.
Yes.
We did last year, actually.
Yeah, we did.
And I think it was this same company.
It was
Tin Man
indeed,
Games.
yeah. So if you don't want your game books in paperback, you can get them digitally. So Tin Man Games are the kind of official digital game book gurus who do a lot of the fighting fantasy books, and they do a couple of their own things as well. But basically, they are giving away. Let me just double check how many of these they're giving away, because they're giving away more than last year.
There's lots of different things there.
Yes, there are a good few different things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so firstly, they're giving away 5 Steam keys for their Warlock of Firetop Mountain gamebook game, which is more than just sort of reading through pages. It's kind of 3-dimensional and stuff like that. There's like rolling dice and things. It's all quite cool. And their Goblin Scourge DLC. So that's altogether 5 copies of those on Steam. Obviously, I have to have a Steam account. Then they are giving away 3 Warhammer 40k Herald of Oblivion Steam keys, which again is another sort of game book type thing. And then, for all your Fighting Fantasy fans out there, they're giving away various Fighting Fantasy classics, which, again, they're kind of more immersive. They've got music, but it's more kind of you turn the page and things like that. They're giving away Caverns of the Snow Witch. They're giving away 5 of those. And then they are also giving away 2 PlayStation VRs, Table of Tales, The Crooked Crown.
You missed that Caverns of the Snow Witch also comes with Warlock of Firetop Mountain.
Oh yeah, I beg your pardon. I completely missed that.
Yeah, and then so anyone who's got PlayStation VR, there, which I think is fairly new still. So
Yes.
there's just 2 of these that. So yeah, now the next one. Jay hasn't come back to us. We don't know what we're giving away there.
Yep.
That's UFO Press, so a little indie publisher. Did some really. I was speaking to Jay earlier this year, and some really quite different and interesting games, which they're kind of like almost post-apocalyptic, but a bit more optimistic.
Reminded me a bit of a utopian Limbo.
Mm.
Have you played the Limbo games?
No.
Anyone's played Limbo? You'll know what I mean.
Okay. And then the one after that is another firm that hasn't come back to us yet, which is Warplock Miniatures. So,
the next one we do have, though, to show.
yes. So, if anyone knows, or if you are from UFO Press or Warplock Miniatures, please get in touch and reply to our emails, damn it. So next is Wisdom Save Media.
This was a nice little discovery at Dragon Meat. Never heard of them before until then. But they make supplements for players and for DMs. Things like tips and tricks, ideas, inspiration, and it's a lovely little company that do lovely little things.
Now the first thing, we're going to throw these in with other prizes.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to give you some bookmarks, but what they are, they're kind of a 5e cheat sheet of player tips on one side and DM tips on the other, and it's just kind of little helpful reminders. So DM tips has the DCs, the difficulty level, the kind of thing you'd get on the back of your DM screen if you have one. So it's like a miniature DM screen, but in bookmark format. And we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of these that they'll just be sprinkled in randomly to people's prizes.
We've got 5 of these books to give away as well. They are the Pocket Companion of a Tavern Guide. Basically, any sort of tavern you can possibly think of is in here. For whether it's in the city, on the road, in a tiny village, out in the remote regions of wherever. It has really clear sort of icons to inspire you. So they've got things like roast chicken, they've got a bard's loot and things like that.
Does it serve food? Does it have entertainment?
Yeah, exactly.
Does it have rooms?
It also has lots of random tables.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got a drunk elf or something, you can
It's
put
an
it in.
inspiration book to make your taverns more interesting. That's what
And
it
you
is.
can also write in your own at the back, which is lovely.
So 5 of them? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2, 3. We also have 5 of these Wisdom Save leather dice bags to give away with dice sets.
Yeah, and they're all different colours. So we've got, this one's yellow translucent.
We've got a couple of translucent yellows.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a couple of these nice deep blues.
And there's an opaque orange.
And opaque orange. What's in that one?
What's this one? Oh, it's another opaque orange. So there's only one translucent blue.
One translucent blue.
2 opaque oranges and 2 translucent yellows.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool.
And then we've got some posters.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think are great. Still with the tavern theme. They are sort of fantasy tavern rules. So, for example, healers drink free. Dwarf tossing is not permitted inside. So I love that. It's a nice sort of little touch that's sort of a Blackboard style.
Any adventurers that undertake quests from this tavern do so at their own risk. The establishment takes no responsibility for any party deaths, crippling injuries, loss of earnings, or world-ending summonings that occur as a result.
I mean, that's true, because a lot of missions start in a tavern.
Additional furniture can be provided in the event of a brawl. So there's 3 of these that we'll be giving away.
And then we have these lovely canvas art pieces, which are from the tavern guidebook. So you've got things like these sort of mock Tudor fancy houses.
And these are they're limited edition.
They are limited.
So they've got the authentication thing on the back.
They've got things like this, so sort of the tankard and playing cards. They've got a big sort of open bar here. They've got a little tavern out in the woods. A tavern up in kind of a town gate, which is really interesting. And then you've got one on a bridge like that. So that is from Risen Save Media.
Those last 2 really remind me of Tabletop World Miniatures, who aren't sponsoring us.
Let's die.
Okay, next up, they gave us a lot of publicity earlier in the year, but they still haven't let us know what we're giving away, and that's World Anvil. So we don't yet know what the prize will be from them. Which brings us on to our last one, who are returning sponsor.
Ah, yes.
Now, last year we gave away a beautiful thing from them, but it didn't really appear much in the telethon because we gave it away as the prize for designing last year's T-shirt, which we haven't done a T-shirt for this year. This year, they're giving away this thing.
So, Wormwood, which again, lots of you will know who that is. If you don't know who that is, they are a company who do gaming accessories made out of extremely good quality wood carvings. If I can get the actual box open, we are giving away a purple wood box with their logo. Sorry,
they call it
Purple Heart wood game box. All you do is you twist it like this. Extremely powerful magnets, which are very, very loud as well. And this is where you can store your miniature for your game.
So if you're a player in a game and you play not at your own home, you can take your mini to the game knowing it will definitely get there safely.
I can't do it any quieter than that, by the way. That's how powerful the magnets are. Yeah,
it's so powerful that when this arrived, and it arrived while I was at work, I had it delivered to my work, and my co-worker next to me said, "What's that?" And I said, "It's a Japanese puzzle box. Here, try and open it." And it took him.
Magnets are so powerful. And you've got lovely sort of wormwood on the side, and
it's engraved with the logo on the top. But it's just nice. And could you not?
Anymore? I won't do any more. Sorry.
And that's it. We've been through everything. So as you can see, we've got some pretty major star prizes this year. We've shown you some of them, and we're hoping the rest arrive. It's quite the prize haul. There's a few hundred.
Yeah. So. Seriously, make sure that you're there from
October the 12th. Saturday, October the 12th.
Yep.
1
midday
PM for us.
Yep,
midday
1 PM
UTC.
Midday UTC. So in the morning for Americans, in the afternoon for Europe, in the evening for Australia, Australasia, China.
Middle of the night. And we'll be going for 24 hours giving all of this stuff away.
Yeah.
It will take that long.
It actually will. Yeah. Because it's already taken over 2 hours to even show this stuff so far.
Is it really? Wow, it's taken us... We started at 8.
Yep.
It is 2 3/4 hours.
Yep.
So probably tune in at... 4 o'clock for the first giveaway.
Wow.
Because we did last year, we kind of went through the prizes twice during the telethon, once at the start and once at the end when we kind of recapped. I wonder if we can this year. There's kind of too much.
Well, we'll do it somehow.
Yeah, we'll have to.
And Phil...
We'll have to Speedy Gonzales.
Phil is indeed correct in that you can never have too many dice.
So that's it, guys. I think we've kind of knocked it out the park this year on prizes.
Yeah.
I just got a huge thank you to all of our sponsors, especially those who have sent us prizes on time. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving this away to all you guys, and dreading the postage costs. What we might do with some of the big prizes like this is, depending on where you are in the world, we might need to debox it just to save money, but we'll see.
We will see.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we can just kind of wrap that with paper and then send it. I don't know.
But we'll sort it out.
Yeah. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the prize preview, and we will see you on October the 12th.
Thank you once again to the most important and amazing people in the world.
And seriously, we could not give this away this year without the support of these guys. These are the people who have who are helping us finance the shipping, and that's, you know, it's just a huge thank you, because it wouldn't be possible without help. So I want to thank personally, from the bottom of my heart and Jason's,
and mine,
Russell Higgins, Jolly Mangina, Mark Threlfall, Omber, Brandon Fishwick, Dave Poirier, AJ, Fuke Enterprises, Nate Hanshan, Phil Bate, and Elizabeth Chypraditkel. If you would like to join this esteemed list, then please just head to patreon.com/Pear of Geeks. Yeah,
you
I
did it
what
as
you
well.
did earlier, yeah.
pairofgeeks.com/Patreon.
Yeah, and you can help us. However, if you want to help the charity that we're raising money for, head to complus.live, link in the description. Actually, for both of those things, link in the description. And you can make a donation, and this little thing that has now timed out because it's gone into night mode. I have to turn it off for the com.
Will chime and be all happy.
Yes, it does actually chime in our house when you make a donation, but it won't do it now until 8 a.m.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be woken up in the middle of the night. But it will during the com. It will turn off night mode.
Cool.
So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you. Well, we'll be back next Friday.
We will indeed.
And we'll talk about role-playing stuff. So that's it.
Bye!
Bye!
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.